this is Counterattack, and we are continuing with our playthrough of the Grand Campaign of Europa Universalis, The Price of Power. This is round 2. Before I dive in, I actually have a lot of corrections to make. I'm going to go through them as quick as I can, but a couple of them are pretty big. If you're trying to learn the game, it's probably worth watching through them. Okay, first, England. During the Wars of the Roses event, where A, Crush the Rebels was chosen, it says England must exhaust 2 manpower or add 1 unrest to Wales and Wessex. Well, I did both because I missed the or. Someone pointed that out to me in the comments, so thank you for that. I got a lot of comments from people, so thanks for everybody for correcting me. I had lost the manpower, which I probably would not have done, but and then added the unrest here. So I think the easiest way to unroll this is remove 1 unrest. So this had unrest, and then I was able to remove it, right? So I think instead we'll say there was never unrest there, and I would have removed this unrest. Okay, I think that corrects it a little. This one's more of a clarification because it didn't affect the game. When England did a trade at the trade node of Bordeaux, they included their occupied province of Bordeaux as a key province for calculating trade power. Since it was occupied by the French, they couldn't do that. I'm just trusting the commenter that pointed that one out, that it did not affect the trade value. I'm not going to go back and try to find that out. So just as a clarification, occupied provinces cannot be used as trade power. Okay, this is an unfortunate one for Austria. So I had Austria enforce peace terms, and I did the peace terms and rebels phases and stuff off camera because it just takes so long to film all that for 6 players, right? But they had total victory over Pfalz and total victory over Mons, and they enforced peace terms of annexation, which means they took those towns. Okay, I neglected to remember that the Holy Roman Emperor cannot annex realms or provinces from realms that are members of the Holy Roman Empire, which these are because their capitals, underlined, are within the borders of the Holy Roman Empire, without losing imperial authority. So I would have had to lose one imperial authority for annexing the Catholic realm of Pfalz, because I'm Catholic, as Austria, and 1 for Mons. And that would have dropped the imperial authority down to 1. That means we'd have lost 2 ducats in income. We'd lose 1 blue cube, monarch power cube. We'd lose our gray influence marker for being at this level. So I would definitely not want to have done that. And so I'm going to roll that back. What I could have done, instead of enforcing enforcing annexation from my total victory, total victory gives you multiple options. I could have enforced vassalization. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to take these towns off, go give them back to Austria. So this means the Austrian manpower is going to go down by 2. So I'll have to correct that in a second. And their taxes would go down by 2. But I'm going to leave 1, and you'll see why in a second. So their taxes would go down by 2. And instead I'm making vassals. So vassals are weird in that there's 2 vassals in every slot here, except for the first slot. You can see it says 1 token and 2 tokens upside down. I'm going to put 2 vassals out instead. So that one increases my manpower by 1. Okay, so, and then increases my tax by 1. But this slot, you have to empty it to get the benefit. So only went up by 1. So that's why I only removed 1. Okay, so let's go grab these vassals. And it's tough to roll this back without going back and carefully analyzing the video, which I'm not going to do, but I'm thinking I'm getting it close enough. Oh, there's 1 vassal. Where'd my other vassal go? Did I lose it? I think I dropped it somewhere. Where'd that guy go? Oh, Lord. That's fun. That's fun. Is it just piled in here? There it is. Okay. So, so now they're vassals. Okay. My manpower, I think I increased it by 2. So you do this as a bookkeeping step. So what's my manpower? 1, 2, 4. So it should be 6 total, plus, oh yeah, that's another reason you want to keep your imperial authority high, plus 3 for your imperial authority. So what's that, 9? So let's see what our manpower here is. Here, 6, 7, 8, 9. I wonder if I made it, actually didn't calculate it correctly before, because the way I'm reading this, it is supposed to be 9, so 4. I'm looking at the little man in here, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. So, okay, so that is correct. Okay. What other impacts are there of this rollback? Well, I claimed the decline of Hungary mission because, where am I going? Let's see, we'll hop over here. I claimed it because it says have a base tax income of 11, and at the time I had a base tax income of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? Base tax income is from towns here. Base tax, has it right there. But now some of my tax is from vassals, but even so, it's 2 plus 7 is 9, 10, but this isn't base tax, so it's 9 base tax. So I did not achieve decline of Hungary, so I'll go put that back into their hand. Okay, which means I did not get the benefit of this, of 1 prestige, and I put 2 influence in Royal Hungary. So we're gonna take that influence back. This is a very unfortunate rollback, but the bigger rollbacks still to come. We'll grab a negative point marker here, because Austria's at 0 points. They're gonna go up or down to -1 point. That pink thing is negative. Okay, so that's too bad. But I want to be correct, especially on big things like this. So it helps me remember, because I think I played Austria 3 times, like face to face, and I'm pretty sure I went around like annexing stuff without thinking about it. So I'm really happy. I think Mr. Meeks pointed that one out to me. So thank you for everything, Meeks. Okay. I think I got that rolled back correctly. If I missed some like minor thing, like no need to point it out. Like you know, if like I wasn't super precise, I'm just trying to do a broad stroke fix, because the doozies coming. Finally, I mean, I have like one more minor one, but finally this big one. Okay, remember the Ottomans and Venice were at war with each other, and the Ottomans, fairly straightforwardly, you know, they had to put together a bunch of actions to do it, but they went in and conquered Creta and Naxos. They annexed them away from Venice, and the war ended. And I did this off camera, right? So you didn't get to see like how peace terms work, but maybe I should do that on this round. But everything was fine, you know, and I actually remember thinking to myself, is it that easy to go to war with a giant realm like Venice? I mean, it's a pretty big realm. It's got all this territory. And the answer is no. I mean, if you're playing with all the advanced rules, which I want to. So I missed a big thing called NPR invasions. So before peace terms, before I was able to annex these, and before rebels do anything, non-player realms that are at war with a player realm, and they're on their own, they're not an ally of another player realm, will try to invade their enemy, if possible, and they could have done it. Okay, so we're gonna try to roll this back. I've lost a bit of information, so I probably won't be able to do it exactly to what the game state should have been, but I think I'll be pretty close. Okay, first off, we check to see if just pretend there's occupied markers on these 2. Okay, so the non-player realm, Venice, are they at war on their own against the player realm? They were. Is there an enemy area with provinces controlled by that enemy? Yes. Greece, Ionia. It's adjacent to all these ports on the Adriatic Sea: Venezia, Verona, Treviso, Zara. I don't think they have anything else. I think there are other holdings I conquered. Okay, do any of those places have enemy units in them? No. Is there an enemy in the sea zone that might be used to make them adjacent? No. Okay, they're going to do an invasion. We calculate their tax value of unoccupied provinces. Oh, there's also Brescia over here. Okay, tax value of unoccupied provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Venice is going to send basically half their army down to invade Greece. So 6 tax value divided by 2 is 3. So we represent them with these rebel unit markers, but you know, they're representing the Venetian army, and they sail, even though Brescia is not adjacent, that's okay, because we're just doing the total tax value. They say, but we make sure they're adjacent. They sail through the port of Yanya. Also, up to 2 provinces in the area being invaded go unrest, but it was already unrested here. So they invade, okay? If there were troops here, there'd be a battle, but there aren't, okay? So they've invaded. And then that's the end of the NPR invasion, okay? But there's more. Wait, there's more. Then during the Peace and Rebels phase, which when I did it off camera, there weren't any rebels on the board, but now there are. So even though this is the Venetian army, in game purposes, like, they become anonymized, and now they're just treated as rebels, okay? So rebels, when there's rebel troops during the Peace and Rebels phase, they attempt to siege any unrest-ridden provinces in their areas, and there is an unrest-ridden province here. So they would siege it and throw a siege marker here, okay? So in role-playing terms, Venice has occupied Yanya, while the Ottomans have occupied Creta and Naxos. So they've exchanged some provinces, okay? If there wasn't an unrested city in Yanya, or province, these guys would move on to another nearby province that has unrest and try to siege again. So they would have gone up to here. But anyway, there was one. So they chill out, take Yanya. Okay, then peace terms, peace negotiations happen. Okay, in fact, let me go ahead and put this marker back, since they had, you know, I'm kind of rolling things back, so that we are still at war. So when you're in a war with an NPR, you are the victor of that war if you have more troops than the NPR has. Well, if you have more troops than there are rebels in your areas, okay, that sort of represents the war with the NPR. So the information I've lost, and I could probably go figure it out if I like carefully watched all my videos, but my what is it, 2 hour long video, I'm not going to. So if I come look at the board here, the Ottomans only have 2 troops here. The Venetians have 3. Now during the rebel phase, when I did it off camera, it's possible like they had more than 2 troops. Maybe they had 3, maybe they had 4, and they lost them, and so that wouldn't count in this case. Wait, would it? Oh no, it would have. It would have. Yeah. So I think this is correct. So yeah. So technically, we did not win the war. That means this is actually an inconclusive war. It's inconclusive. So against a player, I could negotiate a peace, but this is not a player I'm at war with. So my only options are continue the war or offer a white peace to Venice. A white peace would be, and all NPRs always accept white pieces. So if I offered a white peace, I'd have to give back Creta and Naxos, and they would give back Yanya, okay? And well, actually, they wouldn't give back Yanya because now this is anonymized and it's just rebels, okay? So I would give back these 2 provinces, but I would no longer be at war with them, okay? There's negatives to continuing to be at war at the end of a round, but I think I would have said, nah, I worked hard to get these provinces. I could deal with this crisis here. Getting Naxos as part of one of my missions, it's an option, one of the provinces listed in one of my missions. So I'm gonna not offer a white peace. I'm gonna continue the war. Okay. So that means further rollback. I need to throw some occupied markers because we don't actually own Creta yet. We also don't actually own Naxos yet. Still occupy them. Cool. Okay, this town that the Venetians took from us, we need to go mark here as occupied. That drops us by 1 manpower and 1 tax. So let's dump this tax somewhere over here. Okay. What was our manpower at the end of the round? It was 2 plus 8. How many troops do I have here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why do I only have 7? Oh, because I left 2 on the board. 8, 9. So I'm inclined to leave those guys on the board for the moment and lose one of these. Okay. Okay, so because you can only have 9. If it says 9 manpower here, that's how many units are on the board. Well, I only have 8, so I dropped it down to 8. What else? What else needs to be rolled back? I feel like there's some more stuff to be rolled back for this. Ah, yes. When you stay at war, you need to add 2 unrest somewhere in your empire. Okay, so people don't like staying at war. So I think I'm going to add them to Kutaya and Tiki. Yeah, okay. Also, you lose a victory point for each occupied town. So we go down here, or prestige point, yeah, victory point, prestige point. And then I don't believe these would have had to roll during the Peace and Rebels phase. I'm going to check that real quick. Wrong. They would have. So this unrest would happen before the roll rebel die phase. So we'll go ahead and roll the rebel die to see what happens here. So we got a remove unrest and 1 black flag. Okay. So move the unrest from Tiki. Well, unfortunately, Kutaya is occupied, and that means we lose another point. And that means we would have thrown this here, we would have lost another manpower, we would have lost another coin. I think I have that correct. So, that's fun. So, yeah, going to war with a large NPR, do so carefully. I should have, really planned ahead for an invasion, right? I'm not sure what the best choice would have been. Maybe send my fleet into the Adriatic Sea to prevent it. Maybe that would have been it. There would have been a battle though with the Venetians, so maybe that would be tough. So anyway, I don't like rolling stuff back, but I think in this game it's probably important to roll back some key things. So NPR invasions, good stuff. And I actually love games with this kind of chaos where you're like, there's AI sort of invading and taking over stuff. Just creates fun chaos. Okay, the last little bit, which is like I took during the peace resolution phase between England and France. I just removed their war marker, which actually I want the French one. Yeah, just to remind myself it was a French war. Yeah, so they have a truce, okay, because they did sue for peace. They're cool with each other. They're not allowed to declare war on each other for this entire round, outside of odd circumstances. Okay, that was a very long intro, but I thought it was important to do. We're gonna start playing the game. Okay, first things first. Draw cards phase. We're gonna reveal the event cards with 3 face up. Each player is gonna draw 3 cards, action cards, pay for 2 ducats for the ones they want to keep. Then they're gonna set their mission. So I'm gonna do that all off camera to save time. Okay, for Poland, they drew 3 blue cards trying to get another subjugate, and I'll explain why in a minute. And they got a Royal Mayor's Study Technology and a New Alliance card, and they only had 5 ducats, so I paid for both of these cards. Don't necessarily want the Study Technology, but having more cards in your hand gives options later. And the reason I was looking for a subjugate is I kept the Defeat the Knights mission. And they could have discarded this mission or put it back into the deck. I should say it doesn't remove it from the game or anything. So they've been working towards this in round 1, so I think they can finish it round 2. But also, I took this own or vassalize all provinces in Lithuania, which would take a lot of work. But I saw that of the 3 events revealed, one of them, this one. Successor of Vladislav III, formed Polish-Lithuanian Union. So there's some stuff that'll help with that, with vassalizing all provinces, owning or vassalizing all provinces in Lithuania. So that's what I thought there, and so I chose both of those. Yeah. Okay, for the Ottomans, they also bought 2 cards, spending 4 ducats to keep them. They drew an extra 1 step ahead. They already had a 1 step ahead in their hand, so decided to not get a second one. Logistics Master and Tactical Retreat. These are battle cards or military cards. So I know they're potentially, they're still at war with Venice. They got this situation here. They got this situation here. So decided I need some military support, most likely. And then I kept the Cities of World's Desire mission. I need to own Constantinople, or vassalize it, and at least one of Athena, Morea, and Naxos. And I did get Naxos, so I just need to go grab Constantinople to achieve this. And then there's another conquest starting mission that I pulled out of the deck, which is get Rhodes. So Rhodes is a single province realm. There is also an available mission to like grab stuff in this area. I just figured let me try to concentrate on the Adriatic area first, and then maybe we'll do that some other time. Yeah, and our we have some good leaders here, so don't necessarily need to use these guys for leaders. Okay, France, they had a lot of money, so they paid for 3 cards. They drew 3 green cards. Reason is, you don't have to pick all from the same deck, but they already had 2 subjugate cards, which I figured they'll keep the subjugate the French dukes mission in play, and they could use those for at least one of the realms mentioned there, Provence or Brittany. And then they didn't have a whole lot of options in their missions available, so 2A was the only other one available, besides vassalizing Burgundy, which I don't want to work on. So I don't know if I like this one, but this is basically getting French naval power. So I got these economic themed cards, which aren't that economically themed, to see if I can get enough to, have this many ships. In fact, buying the cards may have hurt me in that ability, but we'll see. So yeah, so they went all in, and again, they have decent advisors already. Okay, Castile, they only had 1 card. They are missing an advisor, so I wanted to draw. I drew an extra green just to see if I can have a couple choices of advisors, which I do for green. Then I also drew a blue and a red. Just figure I go well rounded here. They dropped their incomplete mission, which was to basically vassalize or own Aragon, which is and instead they took a continue the Reconquista, which is basically to go invade North Africa. So I like their ability to, although are they still the papal controller? This might affect what I do. They are not, but they do have a Man of the Church card that can get them back into the papacy, because I like being able to call a crusade, and you can only call crusades against Muslim realms, so it just gives you points, right, if you pull it off. And yeah, and then I discovered the Caribbean, so I'll need some ships to sail down to North Africa, and those same ships could be used to go explore the New World, which feels very Castilian or Spanish. Okay, England, they had 4 cards in hand, and I drew 3 and bought them all. One of the things they needed is they had 3 blue cards, and they're missing a blue advisor, a diplomatic advisor, but none of them had a square portrait, so I had to dig, and I luckily got a nice square portrait, though it's a good card, Royal Marriage. And then I grabbed a couple, hoping for some economic things, which this is sort of economic, doesn't help us now. But because we kept the build the Navy, build the Admiralty up mission. And then I took the Dominate British Isles. The only other option was to go take realms in France, which I'd rather not do. So this is to own or vassalize Scotland and Ireland. And I had to take a loan as England to pay for this 3rd draw here. So I thought it was important enough to do that. Okay, Austria, they drew 3 diplomatic cards searching for another subjugate. They already had one and they didn't find any. They could consider using this royal marriage to replace this advisor, which is, 3 times better, but the royal marriage might be better to use as an event. And then I had to decide, like, what am I going to do here? So this one has to do with becoming counter-reformed Catholic, and I don't think that's possible until Protestantism comes out, so we'll not pick that one. And then this is like go get is one of the starting, because it's green, starting missions. It's like basically conquering areas that are outside that are held. Sorry, conquering Holy Roman Empire provinces like that are within the border anyway, but the owners live outside, and I'm not sure I want to do that right now. So I think we have to pick between. Owning or vassalizing 5 provinces in essentially the Netherlands and Belgium, modern Netherlands and Belgium, or going for Hungary. And I think we'll go for Hungary instead. And we'll keep this decline of Hungary. We need to conquer some things, or we need to conquer or expand our provinces to be larger or something. So anyway, we paid for that. Okay, it's time to start the action phase with Poland, and I think there's only one move that makes sense right now. So here's Poland here. Looking at the events, we have successor of Władysław III, A, form Polish-Lithuanian Union. Poland gains a stability, an alliance with Lithuania, 3 influence in Lithuanian areas, and whoever executes the card, Poland, gets a blue cube, plus they get a new leader, Kazimierz IV. So we're definitely going to execute this event. Let me drag that over to our Polish areas. The rotating of the camera is kind of annoying here, but so let's increase our stability. Well, we're at +2 stability. That's great. We get an alliance with Lithuania. I think their marriage markers on the capital. Yeah, so I mean, look how big Lithuania is. I'm going to try to draw my border around it. I mean, it's huge. So having an alliance with that giant nation is going to be a big deterrent to people attacking us. 3 influence we also get a blue. Okay, so let's go add our 3 influence to the Lithuanian areas. So 1, 2, 3. We're actually low on influence there. So probably doesn't matter too much, but might as well like spread it out a little, so we, because you can expand influence from influence and use it as a kind of a network effect. So I think that's good. Let me make sure we got everything else taken care of. Yeah, so we get this leader. So this leader was pretty poor. Oh yeah, it was a military leader that I had to assign. So he was sickly anyway. So we get this great guy, Kazimierz IV, 331, pretty decent, and he's a cavalry. He's a cavalry die. I don't have any cavalry. In fact, I have almost no army. But we'll see what to do there. I'll clean this up off camera. And yes, I don't want to forget to put some money on the unchosen events. Also, I guess we'll bring this event over here. Flip this. So the Neapolitan succession, that looks kind of fun. Looks like Naples becomes a dynamic non-player realm. Okay, it's fun stuff there. And then, of course, we should remember to mark that Poland has executed their event. Okay, the Ottomans. So real quick, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 troops, then 2 in Crete. That's only 7, and I notice we have 8 manpower, so I made a mistake at some point when I was trying to fix things. So I put an 8th manpower on here. Okay, so we have some scattered armies, almost no money, and very few ships, and we have a problem. We're still at war with Venice. We want to resolve that with a victory. Venice will invade again into Greece with another 3 troops. So we need to knock these troops out, defend against another invasion, either by putting troops here or blockading the Adriatic Sea. It's unlikely. Venice is pretty strong. It looks like they muster 5 light ships if we put ships here, so that'd be pretty expensive for us to deal with. Take this city province back. We also have missions. One would capture Rhodes, one to capture Constantinople. So we definitely have to go combat heavy, but I think the most important thing is dealing with Venice. So we need a bunch of troops to squash this and to defend Greece. We have some troops scattered around, so one thing I'm inclined to do is before trading, because we have our ships here, right? Yeah, so we have our light ships here, and we need them to trade with. They're right here. So I could do like a move of the light ships to like the Black Sea, or the Aegean Sea, or Eastern Mediterranean, and then see if there's like a naval move I would want to do with them. Something like this. So we're gonna a naval transport. I mean, so we're gonna spend a red cube. It kind of hurts me to do that. And I do have some red cards I bought too. Not yet, not yet. So I think, I think we're gonna do this. Okay, so I spent a red cube for a naval activation. We're gonna just split the fleet up. So I'll just bring these up here, put this guy back. You can do that anytime you want. So they're in port in Edirne. So one is gonna go 1 into this trade protection slot. It'll go 1, 2 into the what is that? Something archipelago. Some kind of, I don't know what this name is. It's blocked. Greek archipelago, something like that. Aegean archipelago, probably. Okay, so it's going there. Okay, then whenever you do a naval activation, you may do a free naval transport. And so these ships can carry up to 3 troops, and I have 2 here. So I'd like to get these guys off as well, but so we'll go ahead and move, and you have to pick one province and then a target province. So doot, doot, doot into this army 1. Okay, so where were we? So we're trying to collect our troops together. Okay, now I still have this guy stuck out there, and also it's possible revolts will happen. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have left one behind on Crete. Crete is not as important to me as Naxos. Okay, so we'll just think about that for the moment. Okay, so we did a move that positions our ships to potentially trade. We got a couple guys off of Crete. Yeah, I think that's the baby step we want to do right now. Okay, France. Yeah, I want to focus on first vassalizing or owning Provence, Anjou, Nantes, and Rennes. So Provence and Anjou are provinces of Provence. Okay, and I don't have any influence with Provence right now, but I would like to subjugate them to make me my vassal. Their tax value is 3. Discard influence from target imperial vassal equal to target's base tax plus any. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to pay blue cube and money to place influence. So I want to do at least. I'm going to do 4. I'm going to buy 3 influence with money and use my first blue cube as the 4th influence. And I probably only need 3, but just to make sure like shenanigans don't happen. So I can place influence next to cubes, next to my towns and whatever. So we're going to put like a couple here in Languedoc and a couple here in Aquitaine, and we now have 4 influence with not only the papacy, because Avignon's right here, 2 influence with papacy I should say, but we have 4 influence with Provence since they're spread across both these places. Okay, Castile, they like being the papal controller, so they're going to pay 1 green, 2 ducats, which I'll just throw over there for now, to play Man of the Church. See the bottom option there? If your state religion is Catholic, it is. Gain 1 cardinal. Okay, so we'll grab a cube, take it up to here. Cardinals come in from the left. See the arrow here, and maybe we should see how it looks like left. Yeah, and shoves them all to the right. So that makes us the papal controller, since it's a tie among these four nations and we're the leftmost. So now we're the papal controller. That will allow us to call a crusade on our next turn if we want to. England, okay. I think, well, we have a bunch of competing concerns here, but I think this mission is probably the best one to go after. So own or vassalize all provinces in either Scotland or Ireland. Oh, well, we already own all of Scotland, don't we? I guess we can insta get that. Yeah, we already own all of Scotland. Let me reread this. Own or vassalize all provinces in either Scotland or Ireland and have no rebels or rebel-held towns in own realm. Gain if the effect of this. Yeah, so we can claim this now. I didn't realize that when I was reading it. I thought it was Scotland and Ireland. All right, so might as well claim this, which is not an action. So let's throw this down. We own all of Scotland, and we have no rebels or rebel-held towns. Okay, so we're going to get, that's an easy one. We're going to get 3 victory points, or prestige. We gain a blue cube, and we can build up to 4 light ships at 2 ducats each. Well, that's kind of cool because we have another mission here to have 4 light ships and 2 heavy ships. But at 2 ducats each, and I have 4 ducats here, you know, I don't need to build like 10,000 ships or anything. But 2 ducats each, you know, we have to maintain them and stuff. So I think I'm just going to do these 4 ducats. And build 2 light ships total. And we can build them in ports or deploy them right out. So I think we're going to build one in Cumberland here and deploy it right out into here. And maybe the other one will go here. And maybe, come on, gravity. Come on, gravity. There we go. Okay. Sweet. Okay, and look at all those missions that one unlocks. 3A, 3E, 2B, and 2D. Okay, so that was not an action. Wow, okay. So the actual action I want to take is we have no money. So, but I do have things I want to do. One of the things we might want to do is we have a claim in Ireland. We might just want to go conquer Ireland. Yeah, that might be an option, even though there's no mission asking us to. Another is, well, we have 5 light ships, it looks like. So we just need to build 2 heavy ships to get this. And that would cost 10 ducats. So maybe we will trade, and getting that extra blue cube is nice because that lets us trade twice. Let's go ahead and trade. See what we got here. English Channel would be great. Oh, there's an English Channel. I mean, it's almost guaranteed to be the best. Yeah, oops. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So it's just cloth. Just cloth. But let's see what we have here. English Channel, Amsterdam and Antwerpen we don't have. Normandy we no longer have, but we do have London. So that would, and we can move up to 1 ship. So maybe we'll move this ship over here. Flip our merchant. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for London. That's all we need to get 11. Okay. And Champagne, we can trace to Champagne, but you know, I don't think it's going to be as good. We don't own any of that stuff. Okay, so we're going to get 11 ducats. That's enough to build a heavy ship if we wanted to. We could pay off this loan right now as a free action. We're not going to. Okay, so yeah, that was England. Okay, Austria. So I was kind of looking at what we can do. So I was looking at this. This is a 4 prestige mission. It says own or vassalize 5+ among Silesia, Zagreb, or Rijeka, or any provinces in Bohemia or Royal Hungary. So 5+, okay. And I started thinking like, huh, that's interesting. Hungary. Royal Hungary is this area here. So I could try to vassalize all of Hungary. And all of Hungary would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces. Plus they have Zagreb and Rijeka, which are two of the places mentioned there, as vassals. I guess those are part of the same realm. They get the checkerboard background, but the Hungarian flag in the lower right-hand corner. So checkerboard is probably Croatia, probably. Yeah. So I would need, if I wanted to like chew up all of Hungary, which Poland might not let me do, right? I would need 10 influence here. I also need an alliance. So there's a lot of diplomacy needed there, but it's not unthinkable to do something like that. And I don't even have to bite off these vassals necessarily, though I think I would need to get the 5+ on here. Yeah, let's see. Zagreb and Rijeka, provinces in Bohemia, that's not part of Hungary, and then Royal Hungary. So Royal Hungary's here, not the Hungarian plain. So it's just these three. This provinces in this area, provinces in this area, and then the Croatian provinces. So if I try to vassalize all of Hungary, which is pretty tough thing, I could achieve that. So I'm inclined to start off with trying to get an alliance with Hungary. And as a reminder, you take half the tax value. I'm not sure if I include the vassals or not in that, but let's just say it's the vassals also, just for example purposes. That'd be 10 income, because they're all 10 small provinces. Cut that in half to 5. Okay, but the max you can have to pay to get an alliance is 3. So you either pay 1, 2, or 3 influence to get an alliance. And I could just show you why I'm saying that. You can see it right here. Forge alliance between 1 and 3 blue cubes. The cost is half the target's tax income, max 3. Both people must be at peace. Requires at least 2 influence in target areas. Okay, so we already have 4 influence in Hungary and a little bit down in Rijeka too. So I think, yeah, what we're going to do, oops, wrong tableau. We're going to use a blue cube for the first influence. 6 coins is enough for 2 more. I'm trying to think. You know what? I need more money first. So let me back up here. We'll just trade for starters, okay? That's a pretty common thing to do, I guess. So, yeah, let's try to get money first. We don't have to use blue cubes for the influence. Okay, we're looking for maybe, Saxony, there we go. Alexandria, Genoa, not really an option. Lubeck, Adriatic Sea is an option, but we don't really own much of that. Also, fish is not as lucrative. The best fish for us would be 7, and the best paper would be 14. So almost certainly Saxony is going to be the ticket. Yes, so Saxony's trade node is right there. It's adjacent to our influence, adjacent to our influence, adjacent to our capital. Okay. What do we have? Do we have Frankfurt, Nuremberg, Praha, and Mainz? Let me turn this a little bit like this. So I'm sure we have Frankfurt over here somewhere. Frankfurt, right? We don't have Frankfurt. We do not have Frankfurt. Nuremberg, we don't have Nuremberg. Praha, I know we don't have. Mainz, oh, we don't have any of those. So the total trade value would be 1 for 6 ducats. So maybe that's not the hottest thing. Let's see what Genoa, oh wait, no, Genoa's kind of far from us, yeah. So let me go grab this fish and just see, maybe it was the more lucrative option. This fish, Adriatic Sea, Venezia we don't have, Ragusa we don't have, Athena we don't have, and Creta we don't have. So we could sail this boat down to here. We can throw our merchant into Adriatic Sea. That'd be 2 trade points, only 3. So paper is still the more lucrative. So we're just going to flip this guy in Saxony and take the minimum 6 ducats for trading in paper. And where did our Austrians go to? So that wasn't a lot of ducats, but it's enough. It's enough. Okay, we'll be back to Austria in a little bit. Okay, Poland. I was looking at their missions, and they have this nice one, owner vassalize Lithuania, and we recently became have an alliance with Lithuania. We have some influence with them, so that is possible, and it gives us 4 prestige. But we were working on this one on round 1, defeat the knights, which would be own or vassalize 3 provinces in Prussia. And I like the effect on this one: gain 2 galleys in the Baltic Sea and a claim in an area adjacent to it, or pay 3 red cubes, which we have 7 red cubes, to immediately research noble knights. So both of those I kind of like. So let's go take a look at Prussia, remind ourselves from round 1. So this area is called Prussia, but that's just the area. The realm of Prussia is represented by these flags, and they just happen to be all 4 of the flags of Prussia are in the area called Prussia. Okay, so they have 4 tax value worth of provinces because they have 4 small provinces. We only have 3 influence there, and we need to be able to discard 4 influence because of the subjugate card, which we need to do to make them a vassal. Since they're an ally, we can't declare war on them and try to conquer them and make them a vassal, but we need to discard up to 4 influence. So that means we want to place influence. So I'm not sure what our influence situation is. There's only one cube in the influence, in the cube box. We're probably going to spend some extra cubes. So we only need to put 1 cube in here, but I might be inclined to spread influence around Lithuania too, just to slowly work my way towards vassalizing them too. I mean, that would be pretty crazy to get all of this area to be my vassals. I mean, they're already our allies. So let's go back here. We will what other things do I want to spend blue cubes on? It's not that important to me. So and we don't have any money here. I'm inclined to want to save 1 blue cube for the subjugate card, and maybe 1 for the royal marriage card. And I should trade, but I think I'm going to take a loan. That would be 5 ducats. I'm big on loans, by the way. I get razzed by my fellow face-to-face gamers for always taking loans. Okay, so that'll be 5 ducats. In fact, let me just get the 5 ducats here. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. 5 ducats. Okay, so maybe I'll put 1 of these back. We're going to pay 3 ducats for a cube here. And like I said, we're out of cubes in this box, and there's a fixed set of cubes. So we'll play 3 ducats. And then we'll get 3 from this box. I think we're going to just go in and we'll keep 1 blue cube behind. So where are we going to spread these cubes? We're definitely going to drop 1 in here. Okay. And I think the rest we're just going to spread the love throughout Lithuania. We'll put another one there. It's very easy since I have cubes all over the place already. So maybe we'll just double them up throughout Lithuania. Maybe we don't have 1 down here, but that's not Lithuanian down there. Oh yeah, there's 1 little guy there. Not that it matters, but throw that there. Okay, we got a lot of stuff there. Okay. I think that's all we're gonna do for now. Ottomans, man, I'm just all my peoples, all my realms, they just have no money. So rather than take loans, we're gonna trade, and I need to go remember to spend a blue cube. Come on, Adriatic Sea, Maghreb. Oh, this is a bad one. Aleppo. Ooh. Maghreb is near Sevilla, looks like, so that's out. Adriatic Sea is potential. Yeah. Unfortunately, we might have to take a forfeit on this one. Why am I having trouble here? There we go. Okay. Adriatic Sea is potential. So we could sail this ship down to here. Actually, sail this ship down to here. Move a merchant over here. That'd be 2 trade points. We don't have Venezia or Ragusa, so 2 trade points, 1 or 2, would give us 5 gold or ducats in glass. Over here, Aleppo is over here. We are technically adjacent to Aleppo. So Aleppo, just a 1 or 2 would give us 7 ducats, okay. And yeah, we don't own any of those places. We could also use the backup plan of Alexandria. I haven't done one of these like in parentheses trades before, but I think if you can do the main one, you can't do this. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, I think I can do these minimalistically and get 7 ducats. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So we'll trade in Aleppo, and again, we have to trace back to our capital, but you can trace from Aleppo through influence, through towns, across here over to Edirne. Okay, so I guess we'll teleport the Alexandrian merchant over to Aleppo, and we'll just take a straight 1 trade point value to trade in silk for 7 ducats. Oh, and let me not forget to spend a blue cube. Get those 7 ducats. Not a lot of lucrative trades at this time. But yeah, that's the Ottomans. France. Remember we put influence in the areas where Provence has provinces. So now we're going to subjugate. So we're going to spend 1 blue cube to pay for one of our subjugate cards. We have 2, which is great. Love subjugate cards. Okay, so we have to have an alliance with Provence. We do. Discard cubes from the realm equal to their tax value. So Algiers 1. Provence, being a double-sized province, is 2. So I think we're going to take 2 from Aquitaine and 1 from Languedoc. That leaves 1 here, and the reason we care about that is because Avignon is owned by the papacy, so we keep 1 influence with them. Okay, and then our tax base has to be greater than 3 times 2. That number, their tax value times 2 is 6, and I know we have that. They become our vassals. Okay, so let's go get rid of this. Vassals are an upgrade from being an ally. Okay, so we know they have 2 provinces, so let's grab 2 vassal markers. Throw 1 on Provence. Oops. Throw 1 on Anjou. Okay, and yeah, we have vassalized them. Let's see, did we achieve an objective? Own or vassalize Provence, Anjou, Nantes, and Rennes. So we still need Nantes and Rennes. I don't know how to say Nantes in French. The French accent. Nantes? Nantes? I don't know. Okay, but yeah, so these 2 provinces are the realms of Brittany. We could go to war with them. That might be the way to go. But anyway, France's turn. Okay, Castile. So their missions are discover the Caribbean. So that would be quite expensive for us to do. You'd have to use a lot of our cubes because we don't have like a good like research card in our hand. Okay, so I think continue the Reconquista is probably the best option for us right now. Own or vassalize 3 provinces in northern Morocco, Algiers, or Tunisia. Northern Morocco, Algiers, or Tunisia. So let's go take a look at the map here. Northern Morocco here, but Morocco is a pretty sizable non-player realm. It's got 6 small provinces, and let's see if they have any in Africa too. So you can see to southern Morocco, they don't have any African holdings. Okay, beyond these ones here. So they will have 6 troops if I invaded there. So that's not so hot. Tunisia is pretty solid too. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh, maybe this isn't what I want to do. So they can amass 6 troops to defend against an attack as well. This place is called Tlemcen. I looked it up. It's not Algeria. It's Tlemcen, and they only have 2 provinces. But that mission requires 3 plus provinces. So I don't know. I don't know if I have it in me as Castile to do this, but I think, let's say if we declared war on Tunisia. Let's just say that. We have a ship here, and that means these 2 ports would pop 2 ships out and probably sink it. So I would need to get a fleet here probably ahead of time to defeat their ships, and then I need a big enough army to defeat the entire Tunisian army to come over to Algiers. I think we're going to do it though. I think we're going to do it since I need to expand, right? I don't have a claim anywhere else, right? So if I want to declare war on like Aragon, I don't have a claim, which means I'd lose 2 stability. But all these are Muslim realms, and you know, at the time, it's cool to attack Muslims. Yeah, it's not that great today, but you know, religious issues, it's cool. And that only works because we're the papal controller and can declare a crusade. That's why that works. So I think the first thing to do. Oh wow, we don't even have a lot of military cubes. Like, we would want to buy a bunch of ships and troops. Then use a couple blue cubes, I think, to declare a crusade. Okay, and then we would probably win a naval battle, which would give us a red cube back. And then we'd like sail over and hopefully win another battle and get another cube back. Okay, so I'm not convinced we can pull this off, but I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot because it's fun. Okay, so we're going to spend a red cube to do a recruit action. That's our first action. And I think I'm going to spend basically all my money. This is 20 ducats. I think we're going to build 4 ships. That might be one. That would be, they're 4 each. That'd be 16 ducats. And then 18, 20 for infantry. I don't think that's enough infantry, so let's dump a ship and buy 2 more infantry. So 4 infantry to join my 1 here. That'd be 5 infantry. That might be enough. Might be enough. So yeah, that's 20 ducats. So let's go place these guys on the map. Where are we building these guys? Well, Murcia can build 1. And we'll drop it out there. Gibraltar can build 1. So we'll drop it out here. Oops. Sevilla can build 2. We can drop it here. And, oh yeah. I was really hoping to build them all here, so I'm gonna have to defend. It'll be like 3 ships versus 2 ships if I declare war on Tunisia. And then all these guys will go into my army here in southern Spain, what will become Spain. Oops. And we've got 5 there. Let's make sure we have the manpower capacity. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not convinced this is enough, but we'll see. Okay, that was our turn. England, we're going to trade again. Need those ducats. Looking for some English Channel. Wait. I already did English Channel. We're looking like for maybe North Sea. That's the ideal one, I think. Indian Ocean, China, Japan, Aleppo, nope. Saxony, North America, Kazan, nope. Champagne or Sevilla. Like, we could get a ship down to Sevilla. We don't own any of these places, so that would be, we'd get a merchant there and a ship. That'd be 2 points for 4 ducats of wine. Not the greatest. Clearly wine is big in France and Champagne and Burgundy, so they have all pluses next to the name. But if we threw a guy here, we would also only get 1 point. Yeah, we'd have 1 point, which would be 4 wine. So I think I'm just going to take the 4 wine ducats instead of foregoing this. So we will trade in Champagne. Ooh, if we trade in Champagne, we give France a free trade. And that's going to be a lucrative trade for them. So nope, we're going to trade in Sevilla. Oh, we'll be helping Spain too. I don't want to help people. Let me put this back. We're going to forgo that trade. That's very sad. We're just going to take the consolation prize of 2 ducats. That might not be the best choice, but I'm really against helping my opponents. Yeah, okay. Okay, Austria again. Remember, we traded to get money so that we'd have influence to try to influence Hungary. Let's check out the Hungarian situation. Oh yeah, that's right. I would like to have 10 influence with them and their vassals. We already have 5. So let's go back and see what we can do. So let's see. We have 3 influence available in this box. We probably should spend these cubes down here on this development so that we can get them back into our box. So cube management actually becomes an issue. So those 3 from the box, that'll cost 6 ducats. We have to spend 1 from our monarch power. And I think we said we need 5, yeah. And just to be safe, I think we're gonna throw even more in. We're gonna throw 7 in, okay? And my reasoning there is that, you know, Poland's gonna see what's going on. They could start throwing influence in these regions, right? So, you know, I'm playing against myself, so I probably, you know, I might not do that, but it's something to think about. So you can place up to 2 per region, and they have to be in or, you know, adjacent to Austrian pieces. So let's throw 2 into Transylvania. Let's throw 2 into, well, let's throw 2 into Serbia and Albania down here, which came off of Hungarian plain. We'll throw 1 into here for Zagreb. It's got Rijeka there already. And then maybe we'll throw 1 each into the main Hungarian provinces here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's a nice little buffer. And we'll get these cubes back if we do a subjugate, because you have to pay for all that. Yeah, okay, that was Austria. Poland. We're going to spend our 1 blue cube to play our subjugate card. So let's go see what's up here. I hate how Tabletop Simulator does all these rotations and stuff, but okay. Discard 4 cubes. We'll do that. We'll just throw them into the water over here real quick. Vassalize your ally. Okay, so should be a recycle bin around here. Okay. Grab 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Where'd my extra 1 go? There it goes. Okay, we've vassalized Prussia. And again, our tax value, because we don't have a marriage, has to be 2 times their tax value, which is 4. So we'd have to have 8, and we have A bit more than that. Okay, so we did that. Did we do anything fun? Did we do anything fun? We did. We own or vassalize 3 provinces in Prussia. We actually have 4. It's going to give us 3 prestige. We're now tied for first with Castile. We're going to gain 2 galleys in the Baltic. Galleys are special ships. They're like light ships kind of, but they can't leave the Baltic Sea, or if they're in the Mediterranean, they can't leave the Mediterranean. So we have to represent them with our fleet. So we'll go throw that into the Baltic Sea. Cool, and they are not light ships, so they don't help us trade or anything, but they're military ships. Okay, and then add a claim in an area adjacent to it. Oh, or I can pay 3 red cubes for noble knights instead of the galleys. So let me go think about that real quick. I forgot about that aspect. Oops, where's my noble knights? Are they out? They are not. So we would be able to go into here, find noble knights, drop it out. At the end of step 1 of a battle sequence, roll 1 cavalry die per cavalry unit and inflict. Ooh, that's kind of cool. If we built cavalry, I think that's better than the ships in a claim. So we'll just start a new row here, and so yeah, let me go back here. Sorry, this is a little tedious. We're gonna not have the 2 galleys in that. We're gonna pay 3 red cubes because we have an abundance of red cubes to research noble knights. We'll grab this. Come on. We'll throw it onto here. We are the first person to research this, so we get 2 additional points. So yeah, that was a big point leap, yeah, for first. And just wanted to see here. Yeah, okay. Your regular cavalry units cost 4 ducats. Is that special? That is, cavalry units cost 5. Okay, so yeah, Poland is now like, they like cavalry. Okay, so I think we'll probably invest in that at some point. Just want to see if we hit anything here. Own provinces in 2+ different areas that do not contain any of your core provinces. I still don't think anybody's achieved that yet. Okay, so did we finish this? We did. It unlocks 2B. And cool. I think that's a good achievement for Poland. Ottoman Empire. We're going to take a recruit action. We're going to build these 3 infantry right into Army 1. It's going to cost 6. Now my fleet situation is not so hot. And let me just make sure how much money I have here. It looks like just 3. So I think I'm going to take 2 loans. I'm loan master. What's going on here? Come on. There we go. Took 2 loans. That would be 10 ducats. We'll spend 12 to build 3 light ships. Is that what I want? I could build maybe 1 light ship for 4. And what's the price list for galleys? Galleys cost 2. So that would let me buy 3 galleys. Okay. Then I could throw the galleys into this. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the light ship, but let's go see where we're going to build this out to. So yeah, so the reason I want some ships is because when I eventually declare war on Constantinople, they're going to pop out 2 ships. If I declare war on Rhodes, they're going to pop out 1. Constantinople, well, the Romans also own Morea here, and Athena is their vassal, so there's some more ships to pop out. So I definitely want some ships. So Edirne can build 2. Huda Vendigar can build 2. So we can get this entire fleet built into the Aegean Sea, the galleys. And then we might as well build this light ship into the trade node there. So now we have a decent, 4 ships here to deal with whatever we need to deal with. Plus, it'll let us transport stuff back and forth. We also made our army bigger, so we're getting ready to go mess these guys up down in Greece. France. I think we're going to declare war. We're going to declare war. And we're going to declare war. You know what? I don't want to declare war right now. I do want to declare war, but I forgot. I actually want to run a subjugate again. And to play subjugate, I don't think you can be at peace. Both realms have to be at peace. So I want to play subjugate again. So, okay, take that back. We'll do that a little later. So I want to buy influence. I'm going to buy 2 influence at a minimum. One's a blue cube. One is 2 ducats. So I think I want to get 2 more. And another. So let's see, that would be, let's do 1 more. We're going to buy 5 influence and then use a cube for the 6. So that'd be these 10 ducats. I honestly kind of did that because I had 10 ducats sitting there, but I have reasons. For example, Italian friends, this mission, have 3 influence in each of the 3 following areas: Lombardy, Venetia, Central Italy, or Dalmatia. Okay, so that's one reason. Reason number 2 is I want to play another subjugate card on Provence, and I would need 3 influence with them, like I did last time. So we'll do that. So that means we have 3 influence with Provence. And then we're going to spread our influence into these regions. So we'll drop another into Lombardy. Might as well get a 3rd one in Lombardy, and then spread 1. We already had a cube in Lombardy, so we can spread from there. We can't spread from newly placed cubes. We already had one there. So we'll do that. And that's into Central Italy. This border here is the Holy Roman Empire, so it cuts right through the middle of this one area. And I don't know, might as well throw 1 into Venetia. What was that again? 3 influence in each of the 3 following areas: Lombardy, Venetia, Central Italy, and Dalmatia. Oops. I don't think I could have reached Dalmatia. I couldn't. Okay, so yeah. So we're just sort of planning ahead, and we have sort of a bit of a head start now over Austria and trying to get those points. In fact, as Austria probably, instead of going for Hungary, probably should have just started fighting for northern Italy. Castile. Yeah, we are the papal controller currently, and still. We're going to call a crusade. How do I know how much that costs? A crusade costs 2 blue cubes. We're committed to the crusade. I need a crusade marker. We're going to go place it in a Muslim realm. It just has to be in the, a province of it. So for the crusade to work, drop it here. Yeah, we're calling a crusade. Okay, so we immediately get 1 point for calling a crusade. We've declared ourselves committed to the crusade. Other nations may commit to the Catholic nations may commit to the crusade as well to try to get victory points. If these, you know what? Do I have to call a crusade against all of these areas? I think I might have to. So let's call it again over here. Okay, all these. Yeah, I don't want to conquer all of these guys, so I think I want to put it here. Okay, so that means if all of 3 of these provinces are controlled by Catholic realms at the end of the round, anyone participating in the crusade that has troops here, when that happens, will get points. But if we don't do it, that means we have to win the war to make these guys sue for peace, right? And their capital is there. Yeah, tough call, actually. I almost wonder if I should go over here, but I think I can pull this off. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna call Crusade. I don't, France and Austria and Poland. I think they declined the honor. They got enough going on. Okay, so we called the Crusade. One of the things that you get with a Crusade is you get 2 free mercenaries to the collar. Okay, and then as a free action, we may declare war. And a crusade gives a casus belli for war. So we're declaring war on Tunisia. Okay. Calling in any allies? No allies from either side. This is the iffiest part of my move, is these 2 ports are going to spit out naval vessels. Okay, and there's going to be a naval battle. Because there's a battle coming, they kick these ships out of the trade protection slots. Okay, so we need to decide if we want to assign an admiral to the battle. And let's see what we have done here. We could pay a red cube to assign an admiral. I'm very low on red cubes. I think I'm going to do it. I think we need to win this. I was kind of hoping to use this logistics master event because you can raise troops from exhausted troops pretty quickly, but I think we're going to pay the red cube, that's the cost in the lower right, to recruit this admiral. Here, let me fix this. Recruit this admiral right into here. And just to make that work, we're going to form a fleet with these guys. Okay, so I have 3 light ships in this fleet. And what was the admiral again? The admiral has 2 blue dice. Okay, so let's do this. These guys are going to roll 2 blue dice. The enemy, or sorry, 3 blue dice. They only have 2 ships though. Okay, they got 3 cannons, so that they only have 2 ships, so they do 2 hits. Then we roll 5. Okay, we got 3 hits as well. We do want to look for the face that has the infantry and the infantry silhouette, because if you have a couple of those, you can capture some ships. But we wiped them out. But we also lost 2 ships, which is not so hot. But now we have a ship. Where's my ships? But now we have a ship remaining. In fact, we'll leave the fleet there. We have a single ship here, and that'll prevent more ships from popping out if we keep it there. Okay, that's not exactly what I want to do. So okay, so we declared war. We won a naval battle, our first battle for the round. So we get a red cube, which we really need. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we have to do here. I don't think so. Normally when you declare war, you can get a free recruit or a free activate units action, but not if there is a battle, and we had a battle. I don't think I missed anything else here. Okay. England. We're going to try to wrap up the Admiralty. We have 5 light ships. We need to build 2 heavy ships. 2 heavy ships cost 10. We have, let me just see if there's anything hidden here. We have 13. So we need 2 loans. That would bring us up to 23, which leaves us 3 change. Yes, I'm the loan master. So yeah, we got 3 loans here. Build 2 heavy ships. Come right in here. Notice here it says each heavy ship does, besides doing normal battle, gets a free hit. So each ship can do up to 2 hits. They also take 2 hits to sink. Okay, so they're kind of cool to have. but we have to deploy them with a fleet. But we're building 2 ships. I think we're going to build them out of Wales and Wessex right into here. And my reasoning is each ship can carry 2 units, and I might want to transport some troops over to there. Maybe. But yes, we built 2 heavy ships at the heavy cost of debt, but we have achieved this. We get 1 point, looks like. England's not doing so shabby. It says gain 2 blue cubes. Great. And appoint either an advisor or an admiral for free from your hand. And we happen to have a very nice, expensive advisor that we need for this slot. That's perfect. This also unlocks 2B and 2D. So I'm really happy with that situation, even though we went into debt for it. Did I miss anything? No. Austria, the next step for vassalizing Hungary, which is one of our goals, is to have an alliance with them. You have to have an alliance to play the subjugate card. We only have 1 blue cube, and they're so big we need 3 blue cubes, because the alliance values between 1 and 3 cubes, and they're big enough it costs 3. So what we're going to do is, I don't have any cubes here. I don't have any cubes to do a change national focus. Okay, we're going to have to free up some cubes. I could take them from the board, but I'd rather keep them on. So maybe we'll burn some cubes from here, and then next round we'll try to form an alliance. So we can change the religion in certain areas. Place some core markers. I think we're gonna turn a small town into a large town. I like that. It's going to cost 1 green cube. Okay, so there's our cube, and it says exhausts 2 uses of this card. So each of these is a use, but it exhausts 2 of them. Okay, so there we go. So we're converting a small town into a large town. So what's a good town to convert? I kind of like, let's just build up this realm, this area here. So we'll take Steiermark. So this comes back over here. Oops. This comes out here. Let me see what our base tax income. It's 10. So we did that a second time, which we probably can. We might get the Decline of Hungary mission accomplished too, just by growing our towns. Okay, so that's cool. Poland. So I think they're gonna change national focus, and let me tell you the reason why. Well, they do want to do a diplomatic thing at some point, so we'll definitely pull 1 cube here, and that might be it. I think that's it. Just 1 cube over. We're not going to pull a green one over. Okay, but the main thing we get out of this is we can discard X cards from our hand and draw X minus 1s. We're going to draw 1 card. And I should have, I think I should have discarded that after this action, but it probably doesn't matter. Is when you're changing national focus, one of the cards you draw can come from the top 5 discards of one of these piles. And in the top 5, I happen to see, so there's our royal marriage and studies technology we discarded, is a subjugate. Okay, so we're going to take the subjugate. Oh, I might not be able to pay for it. I think I need a blue cube to pay for it, so we're going to move a green cube over as well. Yeah, I think it's 1 blue and 2 ducats to buy 1 out of the top 5. Let me just make sure that's true though. Yeah, that's right. You have to pay 1 monarch cube for the color, so I have to pay a blue cube and pay 2 ducats to get it, which I will do. So we'll throw that into our hand. Here's the blue cube, which I just got. There's our 2 ducats. You know, I discovered like throwing ducats into these bins doesn't actually send them anywhere. They just collect in there forever and ever, and then you. But anyway, okay. So we did that. We got a subjugate card. That is going to allow us. You know, the whole table knows what we're doing. You know, it's very hard for me to like pretend I'm 6 different players. So, but the whole table's like, oh, they're going to subjugate Lithuania. You know. Anyway, that was Poland's turn. Ottomans, they're going to activate units, and it's either land or naval units. I think just land units. So this army 1 is going to come down here. It's going to engage in battle with these 3 rebels. You know, thematically they're the Venetian expeditionary force. So we're going to engage in battle. Just a reminder, we have 5 infantry and 1 cavalry in that mess there. Let's remember we also have janissaries, which lets us use the double infantry die face. Since there are 3 enemy units there, we get to draw a red card, a military card, and see if it has any dice on it. It doesn't, so they do not have a leader with them. Do we want to appoint a leader? Mehmed II. No, here we get 3 blue dice. Do we have a general here that we would like? You know, I have enough red cubes. I think I'm going to appoint a general. I don't want Mehmed to die, and this general only costs 1 red cube. I mean, that's a lot, but I don't see myself using a tactical retreat here either. So we'll go ahead and appoint a general, and it gets 2 white dice. Okay. So let's do this battle. We'll roll for the enemy first. 3 white dice. They got 1 hit. Okay, and then we get 5 white dice because of the general. 1 hit. Yeah, just 1 hit each. Wow, that's not very good. Okay, we will take an infantry hit. Let's keep going. Actually, I think the enemy would retreat. So, but they just rolled nothing. I need to go read the non-player realm rules. I think they might actually retreat out of here. But if they don't, they roll blanks. Yeah, that's right. So if after the first round of battle, if the player realm has more units than the NPR, they retreat. And they don't just like retreat here, they just remove from the board. It's like abstract concept of retreating. Okay, so they retreated. We won a battle, so we get a red cube. Cool. France, let's double subjugate. So it's the same thing as vassalizing, right? Except we can now annex our vassal. Same deal. So let's come up here. We're going for Provence. We have to discard the same number of cubes, 1, 2, 3. So now we're out of influence in those areas. The vassal markers are gone. So throw these back here. And we replace them with towns. Anjou, and I grabbed 2 small towns by accident because I forgot Provence is a big town. Wow, France is becoming a powerhouse here. I think the various powers probably need to go to war pretty soon, or start doing nasty things to each other. Okay, yeah, so I think we processed it. Again, haven't done anything really except we now have more economic power. Okay, Castile, I feel like I'm kind of dumbed with this goal of them to continue the Reconquista, but we're doing it. Okay, so we're now at war. We have a crusade called. We're going to spend a red cube to do a naval move. Let's go see why. So we're going to move this light ship from the Central Atlantic over to here, and I guess I might as well just throw it into my fleet. Okay. So you know what, I don't want to do that. I'm going to actually disband the fleet. So 1 ship is there, one is here. So I was able to move one into a trade slot. That's why the one from the fleet came out, but the one I moved over went into the trade slot. So now I have 2 light ships here. Okay, so I did finish the naval move. But after you do a naval move, you may do a free naval transport. Similarly, if you, after a land move, you may do a free naval transport. So we're going to do a free naval transport. And this army is going to come over and land here. So this army actually has 7 units in it. And we only have 2 ships, and each ship can carry 3. So we're going to leave 1 unit behind and bring the 2 mercenaries and 4 infantry over. And they land here. Okay. Now, the Tunisians aren't cool with that, and so they're going to immediately start popping infantry out equal to the manpower capacity of this area. So it's a lot. It's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because manpower capacity, remember, you count adjacent areas. In fact, the question is Tripoli adjacent? I don't think so. No. Tripoli is not adjacent because there's no port it's adjacent to. Okay. So that's 5 infantry coming out. Like, this is why I think I'm being dumb. So they pop out here. Okay, and I only have 6 infantry. Let's see if they have a general. They do not. There's no die on the card. Let's see if we want to appoint a general. We have this guy here who we can just appoint as a general if we want to get 2 blue dice. My leader's not very good. I don't have a general there. So Christopher, since he has no fleet to command anyway, he's going to cruise over here and become the general. The cost has already been paid for. So moving, appointing a general that's already deployed is free. And how do we know I can do that? Appoint advisor leader. Okay, so we'll get 2 blue dice added to our 3 white dice. This is not, I'm not too fired up about this. Okay, so they have 5 units. I do have tercios. I have to remember I have tercios. They have 5 units, but 3 dice. They got 1 hit. Whew, that could have been bad. I'm going to go ahead and, just because I'm afraid of missing this. So this guy is going to die. Actually, there's a rule for who dies first. Let me check. Okay, you always go mercenary, regular, allied. Mercenary, regular, allied. Each battle round. So if I took 6 hits, I would have to start with the mercenary, then do a regular. There's no allies. Go back to the next mercenary, then a regular, and then do my 2 regulars. Okay, in that order. Okay, so we lose a mercenary. No, we still have 6 units, in terms of like our combat power. Not that it matters. So roll 3 white, and then 2 for our general. Okay, we got a double, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 hits, and we had 6 units. So okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm not as scared anymore. Okay, then these guys retreat. The only time they wouldn't retreat if this is their last area, or if the area contains their capital, but their capital's over here. So they retreat. Sweet. Okay, we won a battle, so we get a red cube. It's gonna be touch and go. We'll see. All right, England. We're feeling a little fired up right now. We are going to declare war on 3 realms, if you can believe that, because we have a claim in Ireland, and these realms just don't see us as their rightful owners for some reason. So we just declared war on 3 realms. Wondering if that's a bad choice on my part. Let me think about this. Before I do that, yeah, I'm gonna roll that back. Let me roll that back. Before declaring war on 3 realms, and so we're going to activate for a naval move, and I think we're going to pick this area and move all the ships within 2 range that we feel like it into that area. So I guess this one will come up here, this one will come over here. So now we have 2 light ships and 2 heavy ships in this area. Then we can do a free naval transport, and I forget which army has our largest set of troops, Army 2. So this is going to transport across. We have 4 ships. That's enough to carry those 6 guys. They land over here. We're cool. We can do this. We have a province in this area, so we're just passing through. You know. Maybe we'll think about that. Declare war at a later time. Austria. No one stopped us from doing this. Subjugate. Okay. Yeah. Let's check this version of subjugate out. So I guess we'll go find Hungary, and we'll throw it like there. Oof. Okay. So normally your base tax income, I guess without a royal marriage, has to be twice the targets, and the targets is 10 if we include their vassals. So we'd have to have a 20 base tax value. But with a marriage, we just have to have greater base tax. So actually, do we have a greater base tax? Our base tax is 10. That's a problem. Gosh darn it. I keep having to roll things back. Okay. We need to increase our base tax first. So I paid a blue. We're going to pull that blue out. Instead, we're going to pay a green administrative power to execute develop province again. It exhausts 2 uses, which means the card is gone. That converts a small province into a large province, which increases our base tax income, right? So we'll do Österreich. Bring this back here. Did we do it? We're at 11. Interestingly, when we do the income phase, we have 11 ducats plus ducats of base tax income as well. 11 is greater than 10, which is Hungary's. So still taking multiple actions to get to where we're trying to go. All right, but Austria is done. Now Poland, I was moving towards subjugating, vassalizing Lithuania, but we have a royal marriage with them, but our base tax is not enough, I don't think. Our base tax is 9, and Lithuania is gigantic. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You know, that's at a quick and dirty. So we need to get our base tax income up. Okay. So maybe we won't try to subjugate Lithuania. And I probably shouldn't have dropped all that influence. I probably should have tried to, once I vassalized Prussia, to incorporate them into Poland. So we would need 4 influence in Prussia, and I don't think we have the capability. We're out of money. Oh, we're really poorly off here, because also we've already changed our national focus. I really screwed that one up. So let me go see what my other options are as Poland. We might be close to passing, actually. So do we have any claims where we can go use our military cubes on anything? It doesn't appear to be the case. Do we have any unrest? No unrest. So since we cannot use our military cubes, and we can't use our diplomatic cube to subjugate Lithuania, well, we could subjugate Riga and make them a vassal. Not so sure if that's... I think it'd be better to hold on to the subjugate card and save it for one of these. So I think what we'll do is we'll just spend our last blue cube, and while we're thinking about this, to go trade, because we're not going to get to use that blue cube to subjugate this turn. Okay, we just ran out of trade cards. Cool. Okay, what can we get here, Poland? Black Sea, Wien. I think Wien's too far away. Oh, we are next to Wien. I think we need a cube in here, but no, I think it's adjacent. I think adjacency is enough, but I'll double check if Wien is the way to go. Lübeck. Are we next to Lübeck? Yes, but we don't have any ships. Okay, so we probably should build some trade ships at some point. North America, Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea. Where's that? Way up here. Again, no ships to connect it. Sevilla, Black Sea, North Sea. Okay. So I think Vienna is the only potential option. So I just need to make sure, like, do we have to have influence in the same area or no? Okay, yeah, it does appear we can trade in Vienna. So you don't have to have a cube or a piece of one of your pieces in the area with the trade node. You just have to be adjacent to it. And so we have a continuous chain from the trade node through adjacency of our pieces over to Krakow. Okay, so this isn't a very lucrative trade though. Wien, we don't own. Salzburg is here. Regensburg and Pest. Yeah, we don't own any of that stuff. So that's only 4 ducats, but you know, blue cube for 4 ducats. Not sure if that's worth it, but we'll do it. And we'll go ahead and move our merchant. That lets Austria trade. Skip. We'll just take 2 ducats. What a waste. Can't help Austria, especially when they're right next to us. Ottoman Empire, they're going to siege 1 siege point. They have an army with enough infantry to siege 1 place. That place is Yanya. We take it back. Okay. And I believe it retains whatever its status was underneath the marker. So it is unhappy. France declaring war. Who are we declaring war on? Declaring war on those pesky Britons of Britannia. Brittany. So we're declaring war on them. There are no ships for them to attack. We're not calling in any allies. Neither side has allies. However, there is an army right there. Did I even check to see the size of Army 1? I think I did. So yeah, so Army 1 is right there. So they immediately pop out 2 troops because their tax value is 2. Now we have 3 troops and a cavalry. Do we wish to appoint a general? Now Charles, Charles the 7th, he's pretty good. I'm willing to risk him. We're going to appoint him as a general. He's going on the warpath. He has those 3 dice for a reason, right? So yeah. So let's go ahead and roll for Brittany. I'm trying to find some dice nearby, but there aren't any. So here's Brittany's 3 white dice. They only have 2 units though. They got 1 hit. Here's our 6 dice because of Charles. Looks like we got 1 cavalry and 2 infantry. We do have a cavalry. So that's a wipeout. Come on. And we get a red cube for that. And let's see, they got a hit on us, right? This guy come over to exhausted. Done. Castile. We're sieging some places. Those places are Mitigia and Gabilia. Okay, but we gotta mark them as occupado, and unhappy, or have unrest. Okay, siege those. England declaring war. 3 nations. Remember I was trying to do that earlier. Let's get these out here. Okay, A few things happen. First, this is probably poor choice on my part, but there's 2 light ships and 2 heavy ships in the northeastern Atlantic. The 2 light ships get booted out of the trade slots, and that is because Ulaid Lachen, I don't know how to say this, sorry. Oh yeah, just Ulaid and Lachen. I was thinking there's a third one, but that's us. So there's 2 small ports, spit out 2 light ships. Okay, do we want to appoint an admiral? Nah. So they get three blue dice, the Irish. We got 2 hits. And then we get to roll 3 blue dice. No hits, but we did get a double face, so we'll remember that. On top of that, heavy ships always do 1 auto hit, so we actually got 2 hits, even with that poor roll. So we destroy these 2 ships. So yeah, actually we didn't destroy these 2 ships. Since we rolled 2 of those double infantry faces in the last round of battle, we get to capture 2 ships. So we capture these 2 ships, which is pretty awesome. Looking for a place to drop them. So we go grab 2 light ships, throw them out here. So we captured the Irish ships in that battle. I'm trying to remember, did they get any hits? I already forgot. I think they did. Okay, I checked, and yes, we did indeed get 2 hits. So rather than like taking hits on these ships, we'll go ahead and take the hits on the light ship, the heavy ships here. We just flip them on their side to indicate they've taken hits. Okay, so 2 more hits. On one hit each, we'll sink both of them. But I think we're safe. We're safe. We'll be fine. Okay, we did win a battle. Okay. And so that was a naval battle that triggered, but there's also a land battle that triggered too, because we have troops here. And so we go grab 3 troops. They pop out. Since there's 3 of them, we pull a military card, and we've done this a few times and not had a leader, so we probably have a leader now. We do. So we're going to get 2 orange dice in addition to their 3. Do we wish to appoint a general? Our king, our ruler, is a general right now. I think I'm okay with that. So that's 3 white dice. So we get 6 white dice. So they get 3 plus 2 orange. So here's their 3 and 2 orange. Oops. So they got 2 infantry, and then here's the 2 orange. 4 infantry, but they only have 3, so they did 3 hits to us, and there were no double faced. Okay, 3 hits to us, and then we get 6 dice. Looks like we got 4 infantry hits, so they did 3 to us. We did 4 to them. And while we did win another battle, it was in the same turn that we already won a battle. So we don't get 2 red cubes for winning 2 battles this turn. If we were smart, I would have split it up across 2 turns, but you know, there's also an efficiency aspect. So anyway, I think we're looking pretty. Austria, so many actions to do this, but still no one stopped us. Playing a diplomatic coup to play subjugate. The total tax value, including vassals of Hungary, is 10. We have a royal marriage with them, so we need our base tax to be greater than 10. Our base tax is 6 plus 5, since we've developed 2 small towns into a large town. So we've done it. So what am I doing here in Hungary? Let's see. we keep our marriage. We have to dump 10 influence. So we'll dump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So much influence coming back. And then I think they're all small provinces. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, look at that tax income and manpower just ramping up. So we vassalized this giant nation of Hungary. It's probably putting a big target on our back here. Am I missing something? Well, we have Zagreb and Rijeka. Oh, and then where the marriage is. Okay, so we'll just leave the marriage like out in the plain here. Okay, so wow. Let's go see. Did we achieve King Albert's legacy? Own or vassalize 5 of these. Zagreb, Rijeka, in the 3 provinces in Royal Hungary. We did it. Okay, so while we have that situation under control, we'll claim this. It unlocks 3B and 3C. We get 4 points. We are at -1. So it feels good to go 0, 1, 2, 3. We're not last. I can't believe the Ottomans are last, but it's coming. What else do we get out of this? Gain a claim or 2 influence adjacent to one of those provinces. A claim or 2 influence adjacent to one of these provinces. So I can pick like Zagreb and put 2 influence into Hungarian plain. So the question is, what do I want to invest influence in? I'm going to invest influence in Hungary to try to later annex it. I think that'd be good to do. But I see France getting fired up here in Italy, and there's some big points coming for Italian friends. I'm just trying to see, like, did any of these happen? Own provinces in 2+ different areas that do not contain any of your core provinces. England's close on this one. But yeah, so I think we're going to take the 2 influence, since we just dumped a bundle. We're going to drop it into an area adjacent. So I think we're going to drop it into Venezia. You know what? We're going to drop it into Dalmatia, because Dalmatia's... maybe we'll do... Let me reread that. Put 2 influence adjacent to one of those provinces. Zagreb, if Zagreb is the 1, we can put 1 in Venezia, that's adjacent to Zagreb, and 1 in Dalmatia, that's adjacent to Zagreb. Okay, I think that's legit. Okay, so I just want to start competing with influence over here. You know, we're going to put both over here. All right. Anyway, I'm agonizing a little too much on that. All right. Okay, unfortunately, I think Poland is spent. I don't see anything they can do. I mean, they can move some armies around, but that doesn't seem very useful. They've already taken their event, right? They're the only one that's taken the event. They're going to pass into first. Get 5 ducats for that. That 5 ducats plus 1 to make it 6. They will use to pay off this loan. Okay. And yeah, Poland is done. Okay, Ottomans, we're low on money. Let's try to get a good trade. Let's go for some Black Sea or Alexandria or something. That's not going to cut it. Oh man, East India. Oh, Alexandria. There we go. And spices. Yeah. Let's go get some spices in Alexandria. I'm sorry for this rotation. Oof. Okay. Alexandria's down here. Do we have a merchant? We have a merchant in the Black Sea. Drop that down there. We need to make a connection. We can move only one ship, so this ship will come down here. So that's 2 trade power, which will be worth 7. What else do we have here? I remember we've had this one before. We don't have Ixandaria, Kahira, Yemen, or Hejaz. So Yemen and Hejaz, those are off map down in, where's the Yemen and Hejaz? So they're down in the Middle East. Hejaz is down here, Yemen's down here. So they're off map from us. We definitely don't own them. And we don't own these Kahira. I assume that's the old name for Cairo, maybe? Or Ixandaria. Oh, Alexandria, yeah. So yeah, at some point we probably should go to war with the Mamelukes to control the spice trade. That's probably what we're going to want to do at some point. But we're just going to get 7 ducats. Not as hot as I was hoping. But 7 ducats is 7 ducats. Done. France, sieging. We have 2 infantry in the Brittany Peninsula. I don't know if that's what it's called, but we're going with that. We're grabbing these 2 towns. Coming up around here. Gonna grab 2 occupied markers. Over here. Let's grab these puppies. Rennes. Nantes. I guess I'll throw that there. Throw that there. Unrest. Throw that there. Unrest. Okay. By the way, when I declared war, it was okay. We didn't lose stability because we had a claim in Brittany and Normandy. Okay, that was France. Okay, Castile, I had a little snafu with the state of Tabletop Simulator, but I think I recovered. So, no, I didn't. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, these were like this. Okay, so I was trying to change national focus and we got a state issue. Basically, I was still in France mode and was using France's cards, and that was bad. So I think it's been recovered. So we want more military cubes, so we're going to change national focus. Pull these 2 cubes over. Decide if we want to discard cards to draw others. And honestly, like the subjugate's not that hot. Increased stability is hot, but we could appoint this guy as an administrator. Yeah. So I think we're not going to turn in any cards. Okay, so we're just moving cubes over to red. England, sieging. We got 3 infantry. We have 3 provinces. Each one costs 1 siege point. We got it. We paid 3 red cubes for that. Let's throw this stuff here. Let's go get some occupied markers. Probably running out of occupied markers pretty soon here because there's a lot of sieging going on. Oops. There we go. Okay, Austria, we're almost spent, but I could change national focus and maybe do some other stuff, but I think we're going to do an event. Now, these events don't fire me up too much, but, you know, the Poles are right next to us, and they're doing pretty well. So we're going to try to muck with them a little, get the 2 coins off of that. We're going to do the Tartar raids. Okay, so let me go make things happy on these existing cards. So border friction, extra juicy. Nope, the Neapolitan succession, slightly juicy. Okay, you lose 1 blue and gain 1 red. So we have no blue. That's okay. It doesn't say pay a blue, it just says you lose a blue, and we don't have 1 to lose. We do gain the red. Then I have to choose one of these. So I could gain an alliance with Crimea or the Great Horde if I have influence in the area of the chosen realm. I do not. Here's Crimea. Golden Horde's actually out of play in this particular scenario setup. So we're going to do raid on Eastern Europe. You must place 3 rebel and one unrest in one area adjacent by land to either Crimea or Saratov. So let's grab these guys. Let's go find Crimea right here, and Saratov. It's probably off map, and I'm not sure if we count it for this purpose, but it doesn't really matter. So they're going to go here, here, or here. What would be the most painful? Probably the one with the town, yeah? So we've got some Tartar raiders coming out to raid, and I think what we're going to do, yeah, we're going to flip that to unrest. So that means during the peace and rebels phase, if these guys are still here and this is still unrest, they'll try to they'll siege it. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go back to where we were. So processed that, yeah. And then the little flaming skull in the lower left-hand corner. Let me go remind myself what that is. It says, oops, all PRs at war except you lose one land unit for every 4 deployed land units. So that's a meanie thing. Okay, so let's go see. Ottoman Empire is at war. They have for every 4 land units, so they have 6 land units. So they lose 1, and somehow I got into some weird mode here. Okay, resolve that weird mode. Okay, so they for every 4 units, well, they have 4 here, so they're going to lose 1. I want to make sure that's a round. There's no rounding on that. My reading is no. It just says for every 4 land units. So 6, so the first 4 we lose 1. The next 2 is not 4, so we don't lose them. So, but they lost 1 unit. What's this here? France is at war. They do not have 4 deployed. Castile is at 4. They do lose 1. And interestingly, I think they lose the the mercenary. Okay, England is at war. They do have 4 deployed land units, so they'll lose 1 from Army 1 over here instead of the ones in Ireland. Austria is not at war. They're so nice. They're not at war. Okay, that was kind of a mean card, but also fun. What's coming out? Death of Charles the Bold. This is I think a pivotal card. Let's see. All PRs adjacent to Burgundy, except you gain a red. So yeah, you can sort of start setting yourself up to benefit from the Burgundian succession, which this card doesn't represent, but you can start getting influence and other stuff in Burgundy. Burgundy is the red cross areas all through here, and they have almost all of the Netherlands as vassals, so they're a big realm. So you can start prepping yourself for them to have a succession crisis. But anyway, Austria doesn't care other than that they did their second for the event. Poland's out, so Ottomans. Ottomans are going to do a land. We're going to do a recruit. And we don't have any units to recruit, so we're going to spend a cube for free. That's a free action to move 3 units out of exhausted. And now we're going to recruit. They cost 2 each. So we'll grab these guys. We're not building cavalry, just building infantry. And where we're going to recruit them into? 1, we're going to recruit into Aiden. We have manpower capacity down here of 1. Cool. And then the other 2 are going to go into our army, which we have manpower capacity 4. So as you can see, I'm trying to get the rebels taken care of. So this guy will come over here, will take care of that rebel. I'm building up my army here to take care of the almost certain Venetian invasion. My only one worry is I don't have any troops in Crete. I probably made a mistake moving them out of Crete. If they have a particular die roll on the rebel roll, it might go back, it might fall, I might lose control. So I'm probably going to want to spend a red cube at some point to move a troop out there. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, we're good here. France has no money. So let's try to fix that. And I said this in the first round, I would love a little button that puts 3 cards out or 4 cards out, depending on the technology you have. So it'd be kind of cool. So English Channel is an option, North Sea, Genoa, Sevilla. So we got some options here. This one's not so much of an option. Ooh, we got fish or fish. Fish or fish. We don't own any of those. We don't own any of those. Genova, we don't own any of those. And I recall there's a pirate down in Genova. Yeah, there's a pirate down in Genova. Or Genoa. Sevilla, we don't own any of these. So it looks like no matter what, our trade options are awful. So we'll move a light ship out of port over to the English Channel, and we can boot an English ship out. It's not war, just our traders are being a little extra aggressive. Okay, so that allows us to trace to the English Channel. Now the English have already traded, so they're not going to benefit from our trade. If they hadn't traded already there, they could benefit from this trade. But so we'll move over here, flip that guy so we can trace to our capital, and we're gonna get 3 ducats of fish. Woo! All right, not too fired up about that. The 3 ducats does not seem worth it to me for a blue cube, and giving up your merchant, but whatever. All right. The war against Tunis continues. Activate for military activation. Land move. These guys, I only have 4 units and they're gonna have 3. This might be dumb, but we're doing it because I think we had a, didn't I appoint a general? Yeah, not the greatest general, but it's okay. So yeah, we're gonna do that. 3 units pop out. I'm probably playing this a little too tight here, but okay. Do they have a leader? I'm sure they do. They do not. Wow. Okay, so here's the 3 white dice. We got 2 hits. They would need 2 of these to wound my leader, but they didn't get any, and they don't get the silhouetted version, so they got 2 hits on us. Here's our 3 white dice and our 2 blue dice. We got 3 hits. That's enough to wipe them out. They're wiped out. What did we say they got? They got 2 hits, yeah? So these guys come over here. Did I move these guys to the wrong box? I think I did. No, I only had 6 guys here. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, we won a battle. Get a red cube, a key red cube. So win a battle every turn, you can keep your war going. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. Might not have enough red cubes to take all these areas, but we're going to try and try to get points for that crusade. Hold on. 3 troops popped out because of these 3 provinces, but this one's adjacent and used the manpower capacity rules, so they should have had a 4th. It's not over yet. Second round, and this guy is not going to retreat because we're in the capital area. Okay, so there's another round of battle. So here he goes. You can only do a max of 1 hit. Got 1 hit. Here's ours. Okay, we got 1 hit, and so I don't need to roll the other 2 dice. Okay. So that was a little nerve-wracking there, but okay, we got it. Now we're done. Okay, England. Well, you know, we're probably going to successfully annex all the three realms of Ireland, right? Then where are we going to go? We can go over here, we can go over here, we can go over here, we can go into France, we can go into other places, or we can set sail for the New World. And we happen to have a card, Revolutionary Idea, costs 2 green cubes, which we have, and requires stability of 0 or more, and my stability is -1. Okay, this is why you don't want negative stability. Let me take those guys back. Let me see what I can do. Oh gosh darn it. What else we got? Shoot. Okay, I take that back. We're going to try to get our stability up. Stability increase costs a default of 5 plus your modifier here. So -1 stability is 5 minus 1 is 4. So we're going to spend 4 green cubes. What a pain. To increase our stability to 0. It's really important to have stability of 0 or more. Shoot, that's too bad. Okay, what a waste. Austria. I see some shenanigans I can do if I change national focus and stuff, but it just doesn't seem worth it. So we're going to go ahead and pass and take 3 ducats. And that brings us up to 11. Yeah. Okay, we are past. Ottoman Empire sieging. This army here is sieging Kutaya. Alright, cool. Okay, France, we haven't done too well trading, but we have enough ducats to do this now. We're going to produce central authority. We need 3 cubes for that. Let's see if we can line their shadows up to drop them on there. There we go. That costs 2 green cubes and 2 ducats, which will go over here. Okay, now my reasoning for this is, look, our stability is -2. So I could have paid 3 green to go up to -1. Or I could have dropped this guy down for 2 green. And then we can see increased stability costs 3, but you adjust it by your modifier, so it would only cost 1. So we'd still spend 3 green to increase our stability, but then we have this card out. So I think that was a more efficient mechanism. We shall see, but yeah. Okay, Castile, I'm a little worried because, you know, I can spend several turns like sieging this place, but I only have 1 army there, and if rebel dice pop armies out or whatever, we're gonna lose these places we've occupied. I'm gonna seek out more red cubes. I don't think I can get enough. I can gain a red cube from pressing a claim, gain a red cube from, oh no, that doesn't help me. Any red cubes there? So I could get this. Gain 1 red cube, place in any area adjacent to your round. And then, okay, so let's just say I had 3 red cubes. 1 would be to like raise more troops. Another to sail them over to here. And another to move it over here. Oh, no, that's not good. That's not good. I could spend 1 to send this 1 guy over to here. And then maybe move them over here. Like if I lose these, it's okay, but if I need to capture all of these. So that would be 1, 2. So how many red cubes does Castile have right now? 2. So I'd have 1 more to siege with. Oh, I messed this up. I'm not going to finish the Crusade. I need more red cubes. No matter what, I need red cubes. Okay, so we're going to do this to grab this red cube. Grab the money. Move this down. We have some border friction. We're going to press a claim to gain a red cube. Incidentally, it also gives us a claim. Where would I want to claim? I don't need a claim on a Muslim realm. Maybe we got a claim on Aragon. We're not going to go peaceful with Aragon. Then we lose lose a total of 3 influence from that area or areas adjacent to it. So 1 here. And then are there any areas that I have red cube or yellow cubes adjacent to this area? So this dashed line here is part of the area. So adjacent, adjacent. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Barcelona is not adjacent to Pisa over here. Am I lying? No, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Okay. So lost that influence. And what else? We have a couple events, triangle shaped leaders, age, and with an anti-ship symbol. Check out the anti-ship symbol. Disband 1 ship of each opponent that is not adjacent to a friendly port. Ottomans. Adjacent to friendly ports. France. Adjacent to friendly ports. England. Adjacent to friendly ports. No ships. Okay. Triangle-based rulers. No triangles. How nice. France has 2. Let me just grab a stack of these. Castile doesn't get it. England, any triangles? Nope. Austria, any triangles? Yes. Poland, any triangles? No. Alright, well, that was easy. Okay. Did we process this? We did. This goes here. We need to juicify the remainders. Oh. If I was playing the game face to face, I would have made sure everyone knew this is coming in the first 2 rounds. I kind of just forgot. This is a great card for Spain, but alas, or for Castile. Alas, wasn't meant to be. So they have taken their event. Let me see if I missed anything. I don't think so. We got their third red cube, so they can do stuff later. England, we're getting kind of down to the dregs here. We could change national focus. That won't help us. Okay, let's look at events. Oh, hold on. Let me get into England mode. Could help us. Change national focus could help us. But I want to look at the events from an English perspective. Not too keen on them right now. I might have to take one. I think we're going to change national focus to maybe get a revolutionary idea. No, that doesn't help us. We need a cube. We need a cube. Either a green or blue cube. I guess it doesn't really matter what color cube. Well, we definitely need a green cube here. But we can change this. So I want a cube. I think this is the one that gives me a cube. Yes. Okay. The death of Charles the Bold is being executed here. So, except you get a cube. Shoot. All right. Sorry. We can get a blue cube here. We're going to execute Iberian Wedding. Okay, so let's go get 2. Okay, Iberian Wedding. We're definitely not going to bind the dynasties together and help Castile, but instead Castile's going to marry local instead. Castile loses a point and must discard 2 influence from Aragon. Aragon is all caps, so that is the region of Aragon, not the realm of Aragon. And we already know they don't have influence there because we just discarded it. So I am helping them there. They lose a point, but gain a stability and an influence in Portugal. Lose a point. Gain a stability. Oh, what am I doing to them? Gain an influence in Portugal, which is where my ally is. Okay, but I gain a blue cube. That's the most important part. Gain a blue cube. Okay, then Spain may choose to take Isabella. They absolutely will, because this is a sickly appointed ruler here. Yeah, now they have a very nice ruler. Oh, and the triangle event for leaders just happened, so she's going to stick around for a while. Yeah, England might be helping out a little too much there. The next one, revolts. Okay, nothing great. Okay, let me just explain what I'm doing here. I can then change national focus later to put a cube here. Then I'd have 2 green and 2 blue. The 2 green would execute revolutionary idea, and then the 2 blue can be used to grab like quest for the new world. Yeah, that'd be great. That's a juicy one, and I want to go start exploring the new world. So that's sort of the idea. But yeah, England's done for the now. We skip Austria and Poland because they pass. We're back to the Ottomans. So one thing I have to worry about. So our situation's pretty good. We got this army in Greece. So if Venice invades, which they would if we left things alone, we have a decent sized army to defend against that invasion. I'm cool with that. We have an army here in Aden to deal with like a rebel popping out here. I guess, I'm not too worried about that. What I'm really worried about is a rebel popping out in Creta and liberating the city, right? So I have an army here in Naxos. Actually, what size of the army is that? That size army 1, like, so either one of those is kind of in jeopardy from some bad rolls. I think we'll just like hope that one army in Naxos can deal with it. But I think I'd want a troop here, or somehow get rid of this unrest. Okay, that's the other option. So I think I can get rid of this unrest, actually. Normally you cannot get rid of unrest on occupied towns. Like, it's just the nature of them. But if something says remove unrest, it's not an action you take, but just like an event or something, you can do it. So I think we're going to play Revolutionary Idea. It costs 2 green cubes, and by the way, it's not just to get unrest that I'm doing this, so we're going to get some points. 2 green cubes, and then I can go pick an idea and research it for the cost of 2 cubes. And I was looking at church attendance duty. It would only cost 2 green cubes, and it makes it easy to increase my stability. I've actually never researched this one. Makes it cheaper to increase your stability. And you can immediately remove an unrest. So that's not a remove unrest action. That's like just a magic thing that happens. So we're going to do that. So we'll spend 2 more cubes to pay for it. Okay, and then we'll chuck the card. Just a reminder, your stability has to be 0 or more, which it is. And if you're the first person to research the idea, you get an extra prestige out of it. So we'll go throw this here. We're going to get our 2 prestige plus 1. So 3 prestige. Okay, we're in the grouping kind of. And then we get to remove an unrest, and I'm going to remove this one. It's one of the rare times you can remove unrest from an occupied town. Okay, so just trying to solidify my position before passing, Okay, France. It's hard playing like 6 players at once, so I didn't notice something fun. Here's a fun thing. France's current manpower capacity is 13. I'm not actually, I forget if I've taken towns this round. So like if I have like it's not officially 13, it happens at the end of a round that you adjust it. But I know I have more than 9 troops available. 3 here, 6 here is 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 troops available. Manpower capacity or manpower. Yeah, manpower. I have 11 manpower just visualized here. And I keep forgetting about these milestones. Look at this. Have 9 plus manpower, which we do, with all of it with all manpower deployed. So how would I deploy all this manpower? Well, I need to spend a red cube to recruit, probably a red cube to move this guy over to the manpower reserve, unexhausted or available side. So I have 2 red cubes. And these would cost as infantry 12, 14, 16 ducats. And I have 1. So I think we have 1 blue cube. We're going to try trading right now. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting something up here. Yeah. So we're going to try trading to see if we can, I'll take loans to get those points, but yeah, we'll go ahead and see if we can offset the cost a bit. Now, unfortunately, some not very nice players threw a pirate into the Bordeaux maritime trade node and the Genoa maritime trade node. And those are France's primary trade nodes. So I'm hoping for Champagne here. So let's see if we get it. Bordeaux. I mean, we can't, the pirate doesn't prevent us trading there, but oh, that's too bad. Too bad. East Indies, Astrakhan, China, and Japan. Nope. Looks like it's Bordeaux or nothing. And England's there, even worse. But let's take a look at Bordeaux. So, oh, I thought I had a ship here. Oh, here it is. So this ship could move down here. Then I would have 1 trade power from the ship, 1 trade power from my merchant. And then if we look at the key provinces, I think we have all of them. Yeah, we have Bourbon, Limousin, Poitou, where's Poitou? Right there, and Bordeaux. So we'd have a total of 6 trade power. So we should also look at what England has. They have, actually, is there any ships here? Oh, great. England has 0 because they can't trace back to their capital. They would have to have trade ships in the trade protection slots. So that's great. Now the pirate would knock me down 1 level, right? So I'm going to be at the 6th level, and this is livestock. It's not very lucrative anyway. So a pirate will always knock the traders down 1 level. And yet to deal with a pirate, you have to use military force. So I guess I'm just going to do that. Take 5 ducats. It's not great, but so that flips. Throw that here. Take our 5 ducats. Okay. They have bigger plans next turn. Castile. They are probably not going to succeed in their crusade. We'll see. Some luck, and they will. We're going to spend 1 military cube because we have 1 infantry unit in Tunisia to siege, which we will do. And I only have 1 unit here, and there's going to be 3 enemy cities here that I need to siege, and I only have 3 red cubes. So, unfortunately, there's a good chance like a rebel die roll, if I'm able to siege all 3 of these, is going to generate a rebel to kill my troops there. Possibly. So, it's okay if the troops are killed, but if another one happens and liberates a city, I will not have succeeded in the crusade. So it's going to be pretty tight. I can either siege all 3, and that's the criteria for the crusade, or I could try to reinforce with troops, and I can't do both. But anyway, we just sieged. In fact, I should siege the capital because that makes it more likely for me to have victory regardless of the crusade. That increased my victory situation. Okay, that's going to be a long, slow process to siege that up. England is going to change national focus. My goal here is to get 2 administrative cubes here so that I can research a revolutionary idea. And so we're just going to move 1 over here. So that way I'll pay the cost of 2 for the revolutionary idea, 2 green cubes, and that'll give me 2 blue cubes to spend on a blue technology, and that'll be that for England. Did I remember that England had done a event? I did not. England has done an event. Okay. And let's see. I feel like I'm missing something else. Oh yes. Let me hop over to the Ottomans. They recaptured 2 towns, so these cubes should have come off here. Also, those are markers to indicate like they lost control or something. Okay. Why I thought of that right now, I don't know. But okay. So England's turns over. We're going to skip through Austria and Poland and go to the Ottomans. Okay, Ottomans. Let's see. I want their next turn to not be about recovering from a disaster, which was letting the war with Venice go on, or their next round, I should say. So, a couple things I'm thinking. I could try to get rid of some unrest. Let me try to remind myself that they're tolerant. Yeah, they're not tolerant. Poland's tolerant, so that gives you a little edge, but they're not tolerant yet. So I could try to get some military cubes to like knock out a couple of these unrest markers, which I think I'm inclined to do. And maybe I could use one to move a troop over to Creta. Also, oh wait, no, that's right. I got rid of the Creta unrest. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do a change national focus. We're going to move a blue and green cube over to military power. And then, I bought these cards thinking they'd be useful. I don't need to move. This is like a defensive card. We're going to discard that and one more. Activate 2 of your armies. Take a recruit action where you may use up to 3. That's kind of a cool card. You know what? We're not going to discard any cards. Okay, that's it. Okay, France is going to do something very expensive, and that is raise a giant army they don't need. It's expensive to pay for it now and expensive to maintain it, though I can disband it during the income phase. So, oh, you know what? Also, we have our stability so low here too. That's okay. We can do all this. I wonder if I should increase my stability first. Because I could always go for the milestone later. I risk someone else grabbing it, but so I'm a little worried about the stability being so low. We're at -2 stability. So we would have to pay 3 green cubes minus the current stability value is -2. So that's 1 green cube. So I think that means we're going to be able to do it twice, and that goes up. Yeah, okay, so and that costs, adjust action cost by current stability. Yeah, so we spent 1 use of that card. Central Authority is kind of a cool card, actually. And then next turn, it would cost 3. It just cost by current 3 minus 1, so 2. Yeah, so I could actually do it twice, and then I can go build my troops with these. Okay, yeah, it's going to take a little more for France. Castile, doing the slow siege with this 1 infantry unit. Yeah, we'll do Seuss. Go grab a town. Okay. Done. England, we are going to have a revolutionary idea. I'm going to spend 2 green. I don't even know what I'm going to get. I just know I'm going to do it. And 2 blue. And we have to have a stability of 0. We do. I always forget that. And we're going to get 1 extra point if it's newt, like we're the only power with it. So let's hop over here. What's a good blue one? Oh yeah, absolutely. Quest for the New World. Right there. That's a solid one. It's 3 points for England. Yeah, England's rocking it right now. Usually when I play this game, though I've not really played the 6-player game before with live players, but usually Castile's way up here. So it's rare. I'm surprised to see England this far up, but anyway. Oops, where am I? So we got the 3 points. We can now use our ships when performing the explore action, which I haven't done this entire game, but that's cool. So they can go start going over the new world if they want. And then we gain a monarch cube of our choice. What might we want? Do we have any unrest in our local towns? We do. So we're going to take a red monarch cube. Okay. Oh, all those loans. Jeez, rough. Okay. Going to hop over to the Ottomans, skipping Austria and Poland. The Ottomans, they're going to do a suppress unrest action. And we have 2 red cubes. They're going to spend both. It's kind of an expensive action, honestly, for what you get. But I would like these guys to... I mean, they already have, like, religious issues here. So we're just going to, like, try to reduce how bad it's going to be when we get to the peace and rebels phase. Okay, so there's the Ottomans. France is going to continue working on their stability. 2 cubes, that's the cost of 3 right here, minus 1 for the stability is 2. That's why I put 2 green cubes in there, and then use 1 use of this card. Stability up to 0. All right, 0. You want to be at 0 or greater, definitely. The Castilian siege continues, and I think I may have run out of these. What do you do in Tabletop Simulator when you run out of those? I guess maybe I can clone one of these. Can I clone? I can. All right, cool. And what did I put it on? I put it on the religion. So yeah, I've got another, our last siege. Yep. England's gonna suppress 1 unrest. And we have some troops here. What's Army 1 look like? Army 1, just 1 infantry, but this area has no like defenders in it, right? Let me see what's under London. Yeah, London's good. So we'll flip this port here in Northumbria. Okay. Ottomans. I think we've all done all we can do. Our trade guys are gone. We just have 1 blue cube. We could throw an influence down. I don't think there's a good reason to do that. We got our troops there. I think I've done all I can to try to remedy this war with Venice. And of course, I didn't really work on vassalizing or annexing Rhodes or vassalizing Constantinople. So I'm still not going to have a lot of points, but maybe next round we'll get a lot of points. So yes, I guess that means we're going to pass, right? So I think we never took our event. Oh my gosh, I was thinking it was this round. You know, I'm filming this game over many, many days. So I was thinking this round they had taken the War with Venice event, but they did not. That was the last round. So they need to take one of these puppies. They might not really care which one it is. This is spreading revolts. I think this one's like decent. I mean, it's got 6 ducats. I didn't even read it, but I'm kind of aware of what it is. Let's see, what can I do here? Yep. Okay, it's got 6 ducats. Let me go juice up those other ones. Okay. Option B, let's use this easy one. Disputed succession. Add an unrest to all towns and vassals in Naples. You gain a claim in Naples. So there are no towns or vassals in Naples, right? Each of these provinces in Naples, this is the flag of the Kingdom of Naples, I guess, or Naples. You can see they are vassals of Aragon, which owns all the islands here over here. So the vassals of Aragon. So if a player had owned this area, which I think it's probably likely Spain could do that, you know, in rounds 1 and 2, that's not uncommon. This is like option B is adding unrest to all of them and then giving whoever executes the card a claim. That actually sounds pretty good put a claim for the Ottomans in Naples. That could be neat. That could be neat. I think historically the Muslim forces conquered this, but I think, yeah, I'm trying to remember my history. I think this is way after the Muslims had conquered Naples and been pushed out. Okay, so yeah, but the Ottomans could come over here. I don't know if they ever went there in real life though. Okay, and option A, add, so Napoli sort of becomes a dynamic NPR. So we'd add dynamic NPR tokens to Napoli, Salerno, and Bari, replacing any towns that may have been there. All players who lose towns gain a marriage with Naples and a claim in Naples. You gain 2 influence in Naples. So I could I could either get influence and spawn a dynamic NPR, or I can get a claim, and I would rather have that claim. So we'll drop that there. That's great having a claim there. I like it. It's a nice place to go conquer at some point. And now my event's done. Okay, we are going to spend a red cube to do a recruit action. And we're going to spend a red cube to recover exhausted units. I forget the exact name. So 1 red cube can recover 3 exhausted units. So now I have 8 units here. 8 times 2 is 16. I have 6 here. So if I take 2 loans, which honestly isn't that bad, spend this money, that's enough to build these troops. And, you know, I'm sure Army 1's in a position where I can build 4. 1, 2, I'm trying to grab these together, 3, 4. So build 4 there. Here, let's get nice and neat here. And then maybe we'll build a smaller army in Army 2, which apparently is on the board but empty. Okay. That's good. That's good. Army 2 down here, yeah. I like that. I like that. You know, maybe Army 2 is empty, right? So maybe we'll build Army 2 over here. In fact, I think I'd rather build 2 of those troops I built in Army 2. So we have a bigger army on the Italian border. Can this build 6 troops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And can this build whatever it was, 2 or 3? Yes. Okay. Why did I do that? Well, I could be getting ready for war in Italy and stuff, but the main reason is we have 9 manpower or more and have deployed all of it. So we're going to take a tag. We're the first player to get this. That gives us 5. Huge number. That's the equivalent of conquering 5 provinces, right? So, and these points can't be taken away, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So getting a milestone first is huge. And in the lower right-hand corner, it gives us a little bonus of 5 ducats. So that's great. What else is going on here? Expand nation, have own provinces in 2. Yeah, so England will probably get that. Italian friends, France is working on that. I don't. Yeah, so I keep forgetting like what my strategies are, but I think that was the right way to go. And then next turn, France and Austria will probably fight over who can be the best Italian friends. And high income, someone might have that, probably France. But okay, yeah, let's hop over to Castile. Castile's almost ready to pass, but I think they're going to take a influence action. And one reason they might want to do that, and we're going to spend blue cubes for it, is we know France and Austria are starting to work towards that Italian friends milestone, right? They need 3 cubes in 3 areas of Lombardy, Venezia, I think that's what it is, Central Italy, or Dalmatia. You can only have 5 cubes in any one area, so only 1 more can go into Lombardy. A royal marriage acts as a cube, so if you could get a royal marriage with one of these guys to get a sort of a 6th in there, but so they're kind of getting packed in. So what Spain could do is try to block these guys a little bit, so they can put 2 yellow cubes here. That'll give them 3, and no one else can fit another cube in outside of like a royal marriage. So did I take those cubes? I think I did. So and you can place 2 per area. So and we already have a cube there, so that's kind of lucky. Okay, and then we can do something similar, and there's 5 in here now. We could do something similar up here in Venezia. Yeah, that's a mean move. So we put these cubes here. So we've maxed out the cubes outside of royal marriages again in Venezia. So no one is going to be able to get the 3. Okay. So they're going to have to use other means to try to knock these cubes out, which there are. And so now Dalmatia is going to be a bit contentious, right? Already it's no one can achieve that milestone actually, right? Even if someone like was dumping 3 influence into Dalmatia somehow, there's no way to get 3 out of those 4 areas. So there's going to have to be some shenanigans to try to win that. All right, I don't know why, but I'm proud of that move there. So when I play face to face with my friends, they're rarely do we get into sort of influence wars. So I'm kind of seeing, oh, we should be doing stuff like this. Yeah. Guess what England's doing? They are passing. Looks like they get 2 ducats. And does that give them enough to pay off a loan? It does not appear to be. Nope, you need 6 ducats, and that we only have 2. So, no, we have 2 more, so it's 5. That's too bad. The Ottomans, they're ready to pass. They get 1 ducat. And now France and Castile have exactly 1 round left. Yeah, let's get 1 ducat. During the peace and rebels phase and all that, I'm going to tidy up everything. Okay. France has no real things they want to do with this red cube, and they still have to take an event. So they don't have to use their last action as an event. You can take 1 more action, and then you're forced to take your event. But they might as well just take their event. I think this one's the most beneficial to them. Plus, it prevents like unrest spreading. So let's see. Let me make sure I'm not lying. I don't know. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, we got 6 ducats for France. That is nice. In fact, those 6 ducats, yeah, 6 ducats, they're just gonna dump as a free action and chuck a loan. Okay, and let's see, we're still processing this. All PRs, player realms, adjacent to Burgundy, except you, gain a red cube. Well, Burgundy. Let me go grab that card. Gotta process this properly. Burgundy has a little chevron to the left of its name, right? That means the realm of Burgundy. So that means anyone with these white background, red crossed flags. Okay, so Austria is adjacent. France is adjacent. Adjacent, yeah. So England is adjacent across the English Channel. So that wouldn't be the case if they're at war with France, but they're not. So yeah, so that means, and so except you, so England and Austria get a red cube. This might not be the greatest decision, but I have to play some event, right? So red cube. Oh wow, just got a lot of cubes stocked up. Okay, then I have to choose one of these. I can pay 2 blue cubes, which I do not have, to gain an alliance with Burgundy and place 2 influence. So I'm not going to do that. If you have any influence in Burgundian areas, we do right here in Bourgogne. That's the only piece of influence I have with them. Gain a marriage with Burgundy and place 3 influence in areas. Yeah, that's some good stuff. All right, 3 influence with Burgundy. And I don't remember the mechanics of it, but there is an event that's going to come out round 3 or 4, where basically Burgundy falls apart and you can grab chunks of it. So Oh yeah, I get a marriage here too. Yeah. So this is a good, I think probably a good thing to be preparing for that. So we'll put our marriage in Burgundy. That counts as an influence. Yeah, we might as well throw a couple here so that we can get it adjacent to Flanders and Wallonia. And maybe we'll add this one here. So we have 3 influence here, 2 influence there. So we have 5 influence in Burgundy now instead of just 1, because the marriage counts as an influence. I think I finished processing that puppy. Now the lower left-hand corner has the Burning Skull. I can never remember what that means. Burning Skull. All PRs at war except you lose 1 land unit for every 4 deployed land units. Okay. That's not good. These guys use a land unit. Yep. We're not at war. Oh no, we are at war. So we have 10. So we lose 2 land units. Yeah, we'll lose both from Army 1. Castile has 1 land unit, even though they're at war. England is at war, and they have 4 land units, so they're going to lose 1. Austria not at war, right? Not at war. They're cool. Poland also not at war. Oh, ooh, I forgot about these guys. Did those guys come out after Poland passed? I think they did. Yeah, I need to try to remember that. I would easily forget about those during the end game. Okay, that's pretty sweet. They took their event, and we're just gonna throw that. Yeah, we'll throw that. Okay, I think we fully processed that. Oh yeah, so this goes to the discard pile, but then we're left with the last event to do anonymously or whatever. So no one is around. You know, everyone's in their event, so this part does not happen. That's a trick. If you hate the text here, try to make it so you can't execute it. But we do have to execute that white flag, which I believe is roll rebel die, which could be bad. All players roll a rebel die for each of their towns and vassals with unrest. You, the executor, which is not France. France didn't execute that event. They executed the one that I just resolved. Only roll max of 1 at rebel die. So France has 2 unrest in Brittany and Normandy. Let's start with France. 1 is happy, goes happy, and the other kills a troop. And yeah, we'll take that guy. I think that's all the French unrest. Yep, English unrest. There's 1 in Scotland, 1 in Northumbria, a couple in Ireland. Why is this like this? It's possible that it's supposed to be that way, but it's been a while, a couple days since I played this round, so I'm gonna just say that was an error. I could be wrong, but I think it was probably an error. Yeah, what would have triggered that to flip? Nothing. I think it's an error. So okay, we're gonna start with Scotland. Wow, that's nice. Flips to the nice side. Now the Northumbria. That is a rebel pops out. There's no army there. And they take the city. England gets a cube. This is why you want like troops. Anywhere you have unrest, you want at least 1 troop so that it could absorb the die roll when rebels pop. Okay, now we'll do 3 here in Ireland. Killed 1 unit, you lose a cube. So easy come, easy go with that cube. This is Army 2. Army 2. Ooh. Yeah, killed a unit in Army 2. Okay, I think England has been processed. Austria, Österreich. I do not see any unrest. They know how to run their stuff. Poland, they do have some unrest down here in Podole. I like to pretend I actually know how to pronounce things, which I don't. So Podole. Wow, that's a lot of anti-unrest die rolls. That's great. Okay. And oh yes, we went France. So Ottomans is the last one. So Ottomans tried to tidy stuff up, but we still have a few. Yanya, let's do Yanya first. That's where I have some troops. Lose a cube. Unfortunately, it's gone. Then Macedonia and Thrace. Kill a troop. There is no troop. I mean, it's really like lose a manpower. So I can take it from anywhere. We're going to take it from Army 2 or the Greek army. Or here. We're going to take it from here. Okay, I'm trying not to whittle this army down too much because the Venetians are going to invade, right? And then, did I have one more? Yes, Naxos. This is the one I'm worried about. Rebel pops, kills the troop in Naxos. Dodged a bullet, although we still have the Peace and Rebels phase coming. So there's another bullet to try to dodge there. Okay, I think we finished processing the flag in the lower left-hand corner, but now we have to age leaders that have a circular portrait symbol. Let's grab a bunch of these. Looking for circles. Oh yeah. Oh, poor Mehmed. That guy's so good. What do we got over here? Any circles? Nope. Castile's leader's looking good. Oh, I never appointed a green advisor. That was dumb. I could have too. I'm gonna swing back through Castile because I would have done that if I was like paying attention. Like you can do it as a free action. So, oh, they still have an action left anyway. So okay, we're good. Circles here. No circles. Wow, they're not. Oh yeah, here's all the circles. I believe each leader outside of special circumstances is guaranteed to die within 2 rounds. Poland. There's a circle, and then their monarch, unfortunately. Okay. We processed that event. France is done. Yeah. Okay. Just Castile left. Well, Castile would just have to pass because they have no cubes left, but they can take a free action to appoint an advisor, and we're going to appoint this green advisor. It's going to cost 4 ducats. And I have a sneaky suspicion I may have appointed an advisor earlier and not paid for them. You know, so that is what it is. Okay, but Castile paid for this guy. Oh, good timing too, because it's a circle. So he just dodged a bullet. He'll be around for 2 rounds. Okay, and that was a free action, so we still have to take our actual action, and our actual action is to pass. And what's cool is we maintained the Papal Curia, or Papal Controller. You know what? I didn't roll for Castile's unrest during the unrest phase. The unrest die. So here's where their master plan falls apart. So we're going to roll the 2 dice for Algiers. Okay, a cube and 2 ducats. Okay. No cubes. Now they had 4 ducats here, so they would have spent 2 ducats. They don't only have 3. I mean, I would have had to take a loan no matter what, right? So we'll take the loan. That gives us 5 ducats, okay? But we only and we don't have a cube to discard, so we have to convert the discarded cube to 2 ducats. So that's a total of 4 ducats we have to pay. If that wasn't clear. Okay, but we retained these cities in Algiers. These are the ones I'm more worried about. Cube ducat rebel. Oh, okay. Let's do the ducats first. That's 4 ducats. I need to take another loan. It gives me 5 ducats. I pay for. Okay, so So I rolled the rebel flag, and since there's troops there, one troop, a rebel's gonna pop out. So let's roll for the rebel. I guess I have to decide, am I gonna appoint a general? I have a general appointed. Okay, we're gonna roll for the rebel first. Oops, wrong die. Roll 3 dice for the rebel. Okay. Actually, the fact that I have a troop there is good because it's going to prevent that guy. So he killed my guy. Here's my attack back. I think it's 2 blue dice from that general. Doesn't matter, but he's dead too. Okay. So we gotta just luck out here. How many dice did I have here? I get 2 blue dice. All right. Okay, so we fixed not rolling for Castile. Everybody's passed. It's time for the Peace and Rebels phase, which I will not go through the whole thing. But maybe I'll do some notable things. So I'll film some of the notable items. Well, the first notable thing in the Peace and Rebels phase is NPR invasions, non-player realm invasions. And we're actually going to have 2. Gosh darn it. I really screwed up his pain. Okay, but we're going to start with the Ottomans. The Ottomans been in a very long war with Venice, 50 years or whatever 2 rounds is. Okay, the Ottomans, they have a total tax value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's total tax value 6. That's just counting their unoccupied provinces. Okay. Total tax value 6. We take half of that. That's how many troops they're sending out. So we can think of it as they're sending out half their army on an expedition, and they're going to go to an adjacent area, and where the enemy has a town and converts up to 2 towns in the area to unrest. Well, they're already unrest. They're invading Greece. We've already done this once before. Okay, so we got 3 coming into Greece. It's going to start a battle. The Venetians, do they have a general? Of course they do. 2 white dice general. Okay, 3 against 6. We have a general too, so it's going to be 5-5 in terms of dice. Here come the Venetians. I just wanted to see, do the Ottomans, they can't afford to play any cards, so it doesn't matter. Okay, here come the Venetians, 5 dice. They got 5 hits. There's only 3 of them, so 3 hits, but they got a double, two of the double faces. Okay, that's a wound to the general of the enemy force. Okay, so this guy's wounded. Oh, and he was a circle too. He should have already had a wound. So he's dead. Yeah, so remember I went through and did all the circles. So he's gonna die, but this is simultaneous combat. So I guess I'm gonna remind myself by throwing another wound. Oh, wow, I got so many wounds out. I ran out. Let's see, how do I do this? Clone, dude. Okay. So they got 3 hits on me. Again, simultaneous, so I'm just doing this ahead of time. We really have 5 units. One of them's a cavalry. So let's roll our 5 white dice. We got a cavalry hit, we got a double hit, and a single hit. Okay, the double hit we can count because we have tercios janissaries. So that's 3 hits of infantry, 1 cavalry, and we have enough units to do all of them, so that's 4. Yep. Okay, now we won a battle, but it's not our turn, so I'm not going to say they get a red cube. I don't think they get a red cube for that. Okay, so this guy, so they defeated the Venetians though, that's the most important thing. But this guy, I have to have this menu up to detach, there we go. This guy's dead. Okay, but we withstood the Venetian onslaught. Now, unfortunately, because I went so weakly with my army, I sent such a weak army in to try to do a big job, consume Tunis. There's another NPR invasion. Look at it. This little Tripoli way out here, they are pissed. Their tax value is half, round up. I think that's true, yeah. So their tax value is half, round up. One troop's coming out. I'm pretty sure it doesn't round to zero. One troop's popping out. They're invading over here. Okay. And there's no one to attack, so they just chill there. But when the rebels phase comes along, they'll take one of these towns back. Okay, after NPR invasions, rebels siege and or move. Or move. So, any place where there's rebels, so these are the Tunisians, but they, in game terms, they're just a rebel now. If any area with a rebel and there's unrest, they siege one of the towns. So, I think it's alphabetical. It's alphabetical. So, because I was like, oh, they should take the capital, but nope, they're gonna take Bizerta. So they grab Bizerta back, and since it's occupied, it's an NPR that's occupied. You just remove the occupied marker, so it reverts to the original owner, which makes a lot of sense since they're trying to take their towns back. It makes thematic sense. So Spain loses this, which of course means they're not going to succeed in their crusade. Yeah, I think I did that. Okay, and yeah, so they did their duty there. There's another situation up here. So these guys are in an area where there is no unrest. And so what they would do is look for adjacent areas with unrest. And there aren't any. And when there's not, they just sort of melt away. So one of them dies. Okay, so there's not enough unrest to keep the rebels fired up. I think the thematic thing was a Tartar raid out of Crimea. So they're just up here not finding good loot, I guess, and going home. Okay, now it's a peace resolution, and I think it's worth showing it. I skipped over this last time, but we'll start with player one. Actually, player one was... Who was player one? Poland. Poland's not at war. Go to the Ottomans. They are at war. Okay. They need to have twice as many units as the enemy has rebels in their territory, since they're at war with an NPR. And of course, there's no enemy, so they have enough. They have enough. Thank goodness peace comes before the rebel die roll. I'm gonna get Naxos. Okay, so they sue for peace, or peace is happening. So we have achieved a partial victory. It's partial rather than total, because total would require occupying all of Venice, Venetian territory. But we have a partial victory, and we can impose vassalization peace terms, annexation peace terms, and so on. And we're going to enforce annexation peace terms. That means we're taking these from Venice, and we can enforce it because we have a partial victory. So those are now ours. We can chuck these occupied markers. And the war ends. We have a truce with Venice, so we can't go to war with each other for an entire round, for an entirety of round 3. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, I just reread the peace rules. I didn't actually get to enforce annexation. It's keep current board state. So keep current board state. The victor just keeps what they have. The vanquished keeps what they have. But they can do a little like horse trading, which we're not going to do. Okay, so keep current board state. But I was just reading through the rules, and I noticed that when you take provinces from a PR, a player realm, they have the option of placing claims in the areas where they just lost territory. That makes sense. They're like, hey, I still have a claim in this area. And I did not do that at the end of the Anglo-French War. So England, it's optional, but they're like, yeah, I want claims. I want claims in those areas. I'm trying to think if there's a downside. I don't think there is. So we still have the option to declare war on France. Doesn't mean we have to take these areas in a war. Okay, so peace terms, Ottomans, done. Head over to France. France is at war. Now France has total victory over Brittany. They're going to enforce annexation peace terms. So these go away. They have taken Brittany. Let me dump this stuff here. So they now own all provinces in Normandy and Brittany. And that means this English influence makes no sense. You can't have influence with a player realm, so this influence is lost. Now France may optionally discard any claims they have in this area to flip two towns from unrest to happy, and they will, because there's no point in having a claim there anymore. Let me quickly scan these. France owns provinces in one area that they do not have any core provinces in. Did they have any core provinces up here? They did not. So France has provinces in one area. They need one more area to get that. Okay, so yeah, they resolved their war. The next player at war is Castile. So yeah, Castile, they, how many troops do they have back in Gibraltar? They have none. Do they have 0? Oh, they have 1 troop. They have 1 troop in Gibraltar. Okay. And the enemy has 1 rebel in their territory. And I quickly skimmed the rules again. Against an NPR, you just have to have more troops than the Empire has. So not double, but more. And Castile just needed 1 extra troop. They should have just built 1 more troop. That would have... That's all I needed, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm playing 6 players again. I didn't realize there would be a NPR invasion here. So it's an inconclusive war. Inconclusive. So my options are surrender, which I won't. Offer a white peace, and NPR will always accept a white peace, which means I would return all this territory back to them. Absolutely not going to happen. So the remaining option, the war doesn't end. That's very disappointing. But yeah. Okay, so we did those peace terms. So the war's still going on. England. Okay. They have conquered 3 separate realms, completely conquered them, and on each one they're enforcing annexation peace terms. Okay, they now own all of them. Let's see, a little guy to check that into. Okay, they now own all the provinces in this area. As part of that annexation peace terms, they can discard a claim to flip 2 to their unrest side, and I think we'll do this one on the border between the 2 sea areas, and it probably doesn't really matter which one. Okay. That was the last of the peace terms. So let's see. I'm going to go make sure it's just England that achieved this, but expand nation. Own provinces in 2 different areas that do not contain any of your core provinces. So, oh shoot, Pale is a core province. It's got the English flag on it. Okay, they haven't achieved that. I was thinking all of Scotland and all of Ireland. They've done that, but nope. They owned a piece of Ireland at the start. And then down here, there are no core provinces of the Ottomans, but there's only one area. So they probably should go like conquer Karaman over here, because that would count. Okay. I'm trying to see, does anyone else get that? I just want to make sure I don't miss these milestones. High income, we'll find out later. Italian friends we don't have. So it's really like, did anyone expand their nation into 2 areas where they don't have core provinces? Not quite. A few countries are pretty close. Yeah, we had a core province there. Okay. Getting close. Now looking for prestige penalties. That's a phase. So the one that applies right now is The city of York is held by rebels. That drops England by a point. So they're no longer tied for first. France is winning right now. Okay, now for religious dissent. Any realm, player realm, that has a religion in an area that's different from the state religion has to flip a province to the unrest side. This area, the something archipelago, I think it's the Aegean archipelago, Creta flips. Oh, that sucks. Already flipped. Edirne now flips, so we're getting a lot of religious unrest. Muslim. Oh, out here we got diverse faiths. I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe Catholic or Orthodox plus Muslim. So Sivas flips. Orthodox up here. So yeah, we just went from almost no unrest to lots of unrest. Okay. France, their religious situation is solid. Castile, it's solid down here. These are not areas they control. England, everybody's happy Catholics at this time. Old Catholics out here, nope. I like to put, when I own something that isn't my religion, I like to throw a marker on it just so it stands out. So Transylvania actually is diverse phase. We'll flip that vassal. Serbia and Albania actually is Orthodox. So we'll flip that one. I didn't realize it was so, the Balkans were so chaotic. Who would have thought? So that has diverse phase in Croatia and Bosnia. Let's see if I'm missing any. Looks like everything else is Catholic. Okay, that was Austria, Poland. Poland is currently Catholic. Lvov flips because of the Orthodox. And these are all Catholic. Podole flips because of the Orthodox. And then one of these vassals down here flips to the Orthodox. So I need to either stamp out the Orthodox religion here or just become Orthodox. Yeah, I think I have enough Catholics here. Probably just stamp out the Orthodox. No offense to Orthodox folks. Okay. I said I wasn't going to go through all this stuff, but I think it's actually useful to go through. So now we're going to adjust unrest based on stability. So they're good. Also, if you're still at war, not at war. France, stability's good, not at war. Castile is at war, so they're going to have to flip 2 places to unrest, but then they're going to lose an unrest from having high stability. So I don't know. I think this is probably going to be our troop building area, so maybe we'll flip 2, for being at war still, and then we'll flip 1 back for our stability. England, not at war. What's their stability situation? 0. Stability here, 0, not at war. Stability situation, very high stability. So we will flip, I don't know. There's rebels here. Let's get this unrest out of here because of those rebels. They'll siege next time, but I guess they'll just march on Lvov. So, okay. Now it's rebel die phase, and again, I said I wasn't going to show this, but I've changed my mind. I want to show it. So we got a lot of rebels here. Let's start with Sivas, and we'll kind of come up here. Sivas, 1 die. Now this could be really bad, actually. Sivas has fallen to the rebels that were unhappy. Wow. Okay, now Creta and Naxos. Okay, they're under our control now, so might not be that groovy. We lose a cube. No cubes to lose. That's 2 coins. I probably should have paid off some loans. In fact, I would have if I was paying attention. It's probably not going to matter. What is that? How come I can't do math here? Because I need my heads-up display. There's 5. I'll probably have to take a loan right back, right? But okay, so that got covered. Did I do that? Yes, I think I paid the 2 coins. Okay. Yanya. Rebel pops out. There's an army there. Kills a unit. Macedonia, and then we'll do Wallachia. Rebel, and then Wallachia. Cube. Cube would be 2 ducats. Do I really only have 1 ducat? Okay, here's the 2 ducats. Means I get 3 back. And then this was, yeah, a rebel pops out, and I guess we'll pop it there. Oof. Yeah, we need to solve our religion problems. Okay, I think I got the Ottomans done. Let's head over to the French. Look how well run that area is. So nice and tidy. Castile. Okay, let's go for Cordoba. Yeah. And then these 2 places. 4 ducats. Oh my gosh. How many do they have here? They have 3. So another loan. Ooh. Yeah. And then these 2 areas in Tunisia. Or 2 provinces, excuse me. Do they have any cubes? No, that's 4 more ducats. Fortunately, they don't have to take another loan for that. Okay, England. This one Irish place. They have to pay a cube, no cube. They have to pay ducats. Were there any others? Nope. Austria. Yeah. We'll do this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy. So in a reverse V. Cube. 2 ducats. Nothing. They'll lose a military cube. They'll lose 2 ducats. Okay. Were there any others? I don't think so. Okay, Poland. I think it's just Lviv and Sukiava or something like that. Susiava. Any others? No. So we'll start with Lvov. Black flag. Cube. Okay, so the cube, we can't afford a cube, but the black flag popped here. Nothing I can do about it. Okay. So now it's the income phase. I'm going to do that on my own. So going to calculate income. We might recall ships back into port. We might disband armies, especially France has a giant army that it probably doesn't need. Hard to say. So yeah, we're going to process all that. Hey, I'm still in the income phase, but I just realized that Poland has the tolerance idea, which means they can ignore 2 religious dissent unrests. And so this was caused by religious dissent, and this one was too. And so they would have been ignored, and thus those rebels would never have even been drawn or conquered there. Which means I can give them an extra coin because they actually got to keep that town. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'm still in the middle of processing things, but I just wanted to point out, like, I should have remembered the tolerance idea, which is actually pretty sweet. And guess who should probably have tolerance? The Ottomans. Another fun thing, I'm now calculating France's income, but I realized that they actually should have declared on their turn, which I'm going to do. They completed subjugate the French Duke, so that was to subjugate Provence, which they annexed, vassalized, and then annexed, and also subjugate Brittany. That's what the names of those provinces correspond to, which they conquered. So that's 3 prestige. France is killing it. They gain a claim in Burgundy or Lombardy, and Man, we're throwing that claim in Lombardy here. Yeah, look at all those juicy targets for us to attack. And then in each of Brittany and Normandy and Aquitaine, if you own all provinces, gain a core province marker there. If not, you gain 2 red cubes. So yeah, we own all of Brittany and Normandy and Aquitaine. And so what that means is, I'm going to try to find a couple cores. So a core province is one that has your flag on it, right? If it doesn't have your flag, like Bordeaux, and like rebels take it over, it's liberated. The liberation of, like if rebels took over Bordeaux, it would revert back to part of England. And then I'd have to go to war with England, which would not be fun. But putting this little heart symbol, the core symbol, you can assume all flags in this area are French flags. Okay, so French culture has absorbed those areas. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. And what else? Anything else fun here? Nope. Nope. Okay. Also, check this out. France is a juggernaut right now. Like, I've played France before, and it was like this too. But I got trounced on by my fellow players because of this. But 26 ducats, right? 26 ducats, -1 for the loan, -5 more for keeping their advisors. So now we're down to 20. Okay, I'm going to try to have 15 left over. Down to 20. Here's another 5, so that takes us to 15, right? We still have to pay for these guys. Does cavalry cost different? Cavalry does not cost different. Okay, so I have to pay for these 7 troops, and I think all my ships are in port. Yeah, I have to pay for these 7 troops. If I disband 2 of them, I think we'll keep one here, and we'll take this one from here. If I disband 2 of them, there's only 5. That leaves me at 15. I think that's all my expenses. So France has achieved high income, which is have tax income surplus of 15 after paying expenses. Okay, so that's awesome. They get 5. Oh man, look at this. Just taking off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if it's because I have a sweet spot for France that this is happening. I don't know. They get 2 green cubes as a reward as well. Jeez, they're going to be unstoppable. So, hey, if you're ever thinking like something's unbalanced and like a particular realm is doing too well, like all the other players have to gang up on them. That's how you fix that. It's not the game. There's not a problem with the game. It's a problem with the players if you let that happen. So, just my little 2 cents there. Anyway, I thought I'd show that. They are killing it. Here's another income example. So Castile's doing quite well, actually. I kind of feel like those occupied provinces. Shouldn't we have cubes here, though? Like, am I really benefiting from occupying them? Okay, it's hard to keep track of the rules just with my brain. So, yeah, so occupied provinces, I guess you can collect tax from them, so that's cool. Castile has actually 18 income, which is awesome. But they have a lot of expenses, so like they could like pay these, subtract these 3 loans down to 15, okay, and they can try to get the 5 points, or actually 3 points for the milestone to have high income, right? But they still have to pay for these advisors, 4, 2, and 2. So I'd have to dismiss these advisors to get those 3 prestige points, the same prestige points that France got, but Castile would be 2nd place, right? So they don't get 3 prestige points. I'd have to dismiss all these advisors, and then I'd miss out on 7 cubes, so that's not worth it. They are the papal controller, so the cost of these guys is actually subtracted by 1, so 3, 1, and 1. But anyway, we'll go ahead and process their income off camera. Hey, here's another little income thing for England. So they had a ton of ships out at sea. Each ship's going to cost half a ducat, so I pulled back 2 into these 2 small ports each. A small port can hold 2, a large port 5. That's the one weird exception to the rule that a small province is worth 1 of something and a large province 2. It's port capacity. So I pulled back as many ships as I could. One of the ships I pulled back, or set of ships, is this fleet. This fleet contains 2 heavy ships, and they took damage fighting the various Irish fleets. So they will, I'm not sure if it's this exact moment during income, probably not, but they will recover. Import. So just wanted to point that bit out. And England got a single ducat after paying for these super expensive guys, these 3 loans. The loans are real drain, right? 3. Keeping their trade vessels. I definitely like keeping, if you have trade protection slots, I think it's good to keep them if you can, but that's just my take. I'm not sure if that's the best take. Anyway, continuing with the income phase. Okay, Austria's got a fun income phase. First off, they disbanded 1 troop because their income is 11 from base, from towns, base tax, and 6 from vassal tax, that's 17. Plus, as the Holy Roman Emperor, their imperial authority is 3, which gives them 3 more. What did we say that was? That's 11, 17, 3 is 20, right? And I believe this number's correct based on what was in their bank. So they got plenty of stuff. So 20, let's just show like 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and there's a 3rd infantry there. So I disbanded it. So 15, their income after taxes is 15. Therefore, they get a milestone. They're second to this milestone. I want these face up. Second to this milestone, so they get 3 points. Okay, they're starting to catch up into the pack here, and they get 2 green cubes, which is nice. Okay. On top of that, their base tax income is 11, which means they've achieved the decline of Hungary, have a base tax income of 11 plus. And so this is the one I thought I got last time, and I kind of cheated or screwed up, and rolled back. So we'll take it now though. Oops, where's the points? So yeah, Austria's back in the game. They were at negative for a while. And then the benefit, gain either 2 influence or a claim in Royal Hungary or Hungarian Plain. So that's great. Let's get 2 influence into Hungary area, Hungarian Plain. Put it there because I want to try to annex Hungary, and I need to get a ton of influence out there to do that. But yeah, they are sitting pretty, and after France, they might be becoming like the 2nd superpower of the game. Okay, I'm still going through the sort of post-round phases. I just awarded all player realms their monarch cubes. Poland had a special circumstance where they ran out of cubes here. And so what you can do if you want, which I think is usually a good idea, is pull cubes off the board. So I remember I had 3 influence here from trying to acquire and then acquiring this alliance with Riga. I don't care too much about that, so I pulled 2 back off the board for that. So that's the only thing of note. Okay, at this time we also score for the Crusade. The Crusade failed. There are still Muslim provinces in the area where the Crusade marker is. So anyone committed to the Crusade loses 2 prestige. So Castile, who's normally a juggernaut in this game, loses 2 prestige. Well, I guess when I'm playing them, they're not so hot. So lose 2 prestige. Okay, and the Crusade marker is gone, but they're still at war. Still at war. Okay, I hit the end of the turn without really anything else notable, or the end of the round, I should say. The Austrians rearrange. They can always rearrange their gray cubes, the ones they get from having imperial authority. So they consolidated them all in Rhineland, and the thinking is, well, they could use those to finish the vassalization of a couple of these guys. In fact, I probably didn't need to move all 3, so maybe I'll move another over to here. Okay, so that rounds that out to max 5 cubes there. What else? Anything else? The papal controller is still Spain. Imperial authority is 3. I feel like there's something else fun to talk about, but I guess not. I guess not. So yeah, that's the end of round 2. I hope this video isn't too long by the time I edit it, but apologies if it's ridiculous. Might be a while, but keep an eye out for round 3. Thanks for watching if you watched this far.